Hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. First stream of the year. Will we get to be more consistent? Will I just disappear? Who knows? So, considering that I haven't streamed at all this year, we might be heading to the latter. As much gonna try to avoid that. Hi Cthulhu. So yeah, we actually got this team to Friendship 10 off stream. But I guess we'll use it for today. Before we start doing some stuff, there's some... Oh, the quests and stuff. There's some stuff that I want to do before that. Like, I think was... Yeah. This domain here is where I'm gonna farm artifacts for Navia, but I haven't started yet since it was off stream. Which one's closest? I guess this one? And there's also a couple of other waypoints I'm gonna get. No? There we go. So we're gonna do that, artifact domain, and then get a couple waypoints, and then we'll do the quests. Oh yeah, I have an idea of what to do about streams moving forward, since as much as I don't like the situation, there seems to be a bit sporadic. So what I'm thinking of doing is that I'm gonna put up like a vote, a poll, deciding what the next stream's gonna be. So it can be like a continuous of one game, it can be like changing games every time. I might think about how I'm gonna do this poll, like maybe after a couple times I'll take a game out of the poll for a little bit, or maybe not. Because Genshin has constant update, and I'm way behind, this one's exempt from the poll, and I'll try to do it like once a week. I'll also try to add like a streamer's choice, but that's gonna depend on how often I stream. Like, maybe it's gonna be a weekly thing or a monthly thing, where I get to pick one game to stream at one time. So that's kind of like the idea I have right now, but we'll see. Also, while I'm here, might as well get this waypoint. Also, this scene was very simple to use. Map, please. Okay. This... Oh, it's right there. I'm blind. There we go. Let's unlock this domain. Oh, and how's the sound, by the way? Because I was having some trouble with the system sound. What's the name? Geo. Huh? Okay. Okay, game audio up a little. I'll teach that. How about now? Is it enough, or do you think I should turn it up more?
Right here. Emerge. Right here. Hold that pose.
Cascade.
I need to realize the controls to do this on the controller, because I'm used to doing it like on my phone or the computer. Oh, like that. That was not the rotation I meant to do.
Emerge. Right now. Right here. I'm always watching.
Oh.
Breaking news!
Emerge to heal.
Say cheese!
Adept back.
And then we'll just...
Show them. Emerge. Right now.
Oh. Wow. Yai almost died twice. Now we just heal up. But yeah, that was just like a first run of this domain. And also like a little showcase of how I was using this theme, sort of. It was a little messy there, but the idea was there. Okay. Sure, let's use condense. I need to farm this anyway. And how do I check? I don't think, no, healing. This is not the one. Physical damage. I'm gonna guess that's not it. But okay. Now, since I did my first attempt at this domain here on stream, I'm gonna be able to farm this off. Now, there are a couple waypoints I want to grab. Because, like, I needed them for commissions. But because I did not grab them on stream, I went the long way for them. So like every time I had a commission near them, I had to take the long route to get there because I did not unlock the waypoints on stream. So I want to do that now, even though I've been wanting to do this for over a month. But yeah, now that I got Farina and Charlotte at Max Friendship, I need to figure out the teams to build for Fremine, Candice, and Navia. I cannot seem to find like a comp that adds two of them.
Wild and desolate sight.
Only comps that add only one, so
Allow me to grant
it might
you
only be
blessing
one at a
upon-
time. Another place I want to get is this waypoint.
The sun feels almost as hot as those studio lights I'm in front of all the time. Good thing there can only be one sun.
Good points, Farina. Yeah. Well, by the way, what going back to the whole streaming conversation, what game do you would you wish for me to stream next, other than Genshin, of course? Like, okay, I see none of the ones we have up right now. Just Persona 3 Reload and Trails. Okay, I'm a little lost here. Okay, I have to go around this. So, in your opinion, just leave the games we have on hold right now on hold and start new ones? No? Oh. Oh, this might be a little awkward. Oh, Ed gave his input on Xenoblade. Just drop everything. Which trails is that, by the way? Was it like trails in the sky off the sky? Is that the first one? Cthulhu, one step at a time, please. Okay. So, oh, Ed's also in Grand Blue Fantasy. Yeah, I'm also looking at that one. Yeah, we can like see what games to go. Okay, I finally got this waypoint, and now there's also this waypoint to get, because every time I need to climb up out of the city and climb the mountain. Oh, Tokyo Mirage Sessions. That's one a while back that I was curious about. I meant to jump, but okay. So I think this will be the last waypoint that I want to get. And then we can start on the quest. Let the stamina recharge. And now let's fly over to get on top of that mountains, so I never need to do this again. That so many times I had a commission up there and I had to go all this way every time. But yeah, like, for example, the games you guys said, like, we already have sort of a variety there. Without being continuous. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with games like Kingdom Hearts, Pokemon Violet and stuff, because like, that's staying in the back burner, I guess. Maybe I'll do that challenge. It's good, but it's very long, I guess. And there's also the whole copyright problem, so I need to adjust the audio for that. Oh, okay. Barely made it. I remember when we did Kingdom Hearts 1 in a week. That was a time. And then we're like, what? A year, maybe 2 years without playing Kingdom Hearts 2. There we go. That's a very helpful waypoint. And while I'm here, guess I'm gonna do this challenge. Okay. Charge up. Yep.
What a pleasant surprise. Truly an extra slice of joy.
Okay, so now that we did the waypoints, this is basically what we would start. However, it also talked about recommended quests, which is this one. So why don't we do it? You know? Maybe that's why. Oh god. The characters are stuck somewhere else. Okay. Where is this character stuck? This character is stuck in someone else's quest? Yeah. Right. Whose is that one?
We've been to so many places lately.
Story quest. Yelan. So we need to at least start Yelan's to do Xianyun so that we can properly do the Lantern Rites event, huh? Okay. I don't know why we need to start Yelan, but go to, well, like, has nothing to do with it. But yeah, it's saying occupied characters. Who is she? Who is she? Who is she? Okay.
Let Paimon think. Where are some nice places we could go? Oh, why don't we pay Cloud Retainer a visit and
I'm in.
song?
That's what I plan
It's
to,
been a
but
while since we last saw that illuminated bird.
apparently we need to
She's
do
always the one
this
popping
beforehand.
Up out of nowhere and scaring us half to death. So let's surprise her this time.
A little payback, huh, Paimon? However, we need to start this first.
Uncle Tien, we're here to chat with you.
Oh? What a lovely surprise.
Don't forget the water.
Welcome. Oishi, why don't you go downstairs and get the shopkeeper to make us a fresh
Here are
pot
you.
of tea?
I found who is she.
I heard that you've been traveling all over the place recently. I would very much like to hear your adventure stories.
Yeah, everything okay?
Hoishin told you, didn't she? Don't worry. I'm quite all right. It's just the years gradually catching up with me.
That tends to happen.
As I
Yeah.
grow older, I'm starting to find that with many things, though the mind is willing, the flesh is weak.
Yeah.
Especially recently.
Age just
Noticed a
catch up
rather
to you, you
drastic
know?
drop in my energy levels. I am still very much in good standing as the Tianshu today. Nevertheless, I wish to pass on the position before my mental acuity begins to decline beyond redemption.
How difficult is it to transfer the Tianshu position?
Oh, well, you see, the Tianshu is a rather unique position among the Liyue Qixing. Historically speaking, the Tianshu rarely appears in public. We stay behind the scenes,
Are we
planning and giving advice.
supposing that
So a
Yelan's
public
gonna take
selection
over?
process would not be suitable.
Or maybe something
We
else?
also want to keep any prospective Tianshu candidates free from influence by outside forces, so we tend to be as discreet as possible in their assessment and appointment. For these reasons, the incumbent Tianshu typically recommends their candidate of choice, and this is then
Anyway.
approved by the other Qixing members.
So in other words, you pick someone, and then Lady Keqing, Lady Ningguang, and the other Qixing appoint them?
Correct. Unfortunately, due to my health, I won't be able to assess every candidate myself. Not to despair, however, because I found someone exceptionally capable to act on my behalf as assessment officer.
Okay, so
In
she's
fact,
not gonna take the
I
position, but she's
believe
gonna
you
do the
recently
assessment.
became acquainted with her yourself.
Oh? Who is it?
I'm heartbroken. I thought it might take you a little longer than this to forget all about me.
It's Yelan!
Jackpot. Uncle Tien here asked me to assess 3 candidates for him. Fancy joining me? You'll be among the first to get to know the next Tianshu. Might be a good opportunity for you.
What do you think?
Sure, though. Can we postpone this? I kind of want to meet Cloud Retainer.
With a new Qixing, right?
Alright then. Though, I gotta say, Uncle Tien, you say you're into behind-the-scenes planning? My work's of the covert variety,
Right?
too.
That's what I was
Don't you
thinking.
think I might make a good Tianshu?
That's what I was talking about.
Yelan, you want to be the next Tianshu?
I'm not opposed to the idea, but I suspect Ningguang wouldn't let you go very easily after how long you've been working together. So, how about this?
I just heard the
If
cat
your
all the way in the background there.
investigation reveals that none of the other candidates are qualified for the position,
Okay, so it is a
I'll recommend
possibility
you for the
that
job.
she takes the position.
Well,
Not
You
guaranteed.
guys take your time.
Uh,
Everything's all set for
okay.
the assessments to go ahead. Meet me on the first floor when you're ready. Until then, have a
Hopefully-
pleasant conversation.
Hushan
Oh, and
is already
you
gone.
need to pay for your tea. As the new owner of this fine establishment,
She's just
Sounds
the new
nice.
owner. Okay.
you're all set?
I mean, I kind of want to
Uncle Tien
leave
seems
the
really worn
mountain, you
down.
know?
It's like all his energy's gone.
Yeah, it may sound harsh, but Uncle Tien is past his prime. He's not
True.
cut out for this anymore. So he's recommended 3 candidates. Their
3
names are
candidates.
Shenwei, Mingbo, and Zhi.
Janeway,
Shenwei is a
Mingboa,
wealthy entrepreneur. Mingbo works at the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs, and Zhi is focused on study and travel.
G.E.
Try to keep all that in mind.
I already
Of
forgot.
course, it doesn't really matter if you forget, since we'll be assessing them at Yuehai Pavilion in a short while.
Yeah, I already got distracted and completely forgot.
Yui. Paimon should be able to remember their names, but
Good,
what does
'cause
the
I'm not.
assessment involve exactly?
Let's leave that until we get to Yuehai Pavilion. All right. Heads in the game, people. The stakes don't get much higher than a change in the Qixing. We can't afford to
True.
miss anything, no matter
For
how small.
Leo, that is
Got
a
it.
big
We'll keep our
moment.
eyes wide open.
Okay. Now, can I go? Area characters occupied by quest. Now it's area?
Tea parties are a must for the well-mannered. If you'd like to learn the proper etiquette, I'd be happy to teach you.
Now, as one of the main improvements that Star Rail has, if I recall, is that when you have multiple quests requiring a character or stuff, if he's stuck in one and you want to do the other one, you can switch it up and make it so that characters prioritize for that other quest instead. Which is so much better than, like, oh, well, you can't do this quest before you do the other one. Not because they're related or anything, it's just the characters involved, you know? Like, I was expecting to do...
My legs are getting sore. What is
Xianyun.
wrong with this assessment officer? This is a huge occasion, and I don't even get.
I don't remember her name.
I've
Cloud
dealt
Retainer.
with all kinds of people in my time, but never.
I was
have been
planning to
made
do Cloud
stand
Retainer's
while
quest
I'm
today.
waiting for an
Not
appointment.
Yelan's.
Oh, I mean, I think it's fine.
That's called being complacent. If you're happy to just accept the way things are, you'll never be able to change anything in the future.
Right?
Come on. That's just... Now you're just being unreasonable.
There's
All
ambition
right, you
and
two.
too much ambition.
Let's not get into a big argument over this. It's not worth it. Qianwei, that was a bit uncalled for. And Mingbo, cut him some slack.
Okay,
We've all been
Xianyun,
standing around for a
Mingbo,
while. It's
and
natural to be
the other guy
getting
that I
irritable.
forgot how to pronounce his name.
Look, how about this? There's no rule saying we're obliged to stand up while we wait, so why don't we borrow some chairs from the guild nearby?
Fine. They're not the best quality chairs, to be sure. But under the circumstances, it would be better than nothing.
It looks like all 3 candidates have arrived.
Oh, it was those 3?
Mm-hmm. We'll meet them formally soon. Before that, let me run you through the assessment process.
Okay, I guess we're doing this then.
I've split it into 2 stages. Current affairs and planning,
Current
and
affair,
face-to-face
present
interview.
and future
In the first stage,
and
candidates
interview.
are required to submit a manifesto for Liyue's development. In the second stage, we will ask them some questions in person.
Mm-hmm.
Writing a manifesto takes time, so I informed them of this requirement in advance.
Makes
These
sense.
are the reports they submitted.
Oh, I thought...
Wow, one of them is really thick.
I feel like I know which
mentioning
one.
a stipulation I gave them. Whoever is appointed as the new Tianshu will be expected to implement their plan as put forward in their manifesto. Failing the occurrence of some cataclysmic event, they will not be permitted to change their plan.
You know,
Therefore,
like Osayo
these 3
attacking or
piles of
something like
documents
that.
in front of us
But
represent
when's
where
that
each
gonna
candidate
happen,
stands on
right?
key policy issues. There's still some time. Have a skim through, get a first impression of what each person's proposing.
Okay.
I'll be waiting off to the side. Just
I guess
let me
we're
know when
gonna
you're
be
done.
doing some reading. Oops. I'm in. This is for our interview. But, Xianyun is the one that I believe is the big one. Xianyun Manifesto addresses many commercial issues. And, oh, hold up. His views seem to be that regulation and incentives are both indispensable. Regulation and incentives. Okay. I keep pressing down. Z, which is the one that was pacifying the discussion. Z's manifesto covers domestic affairs, foreign affairs, and checks and balances, all in great detail. Oh, is his the big one? The focus seems to be problem solving. Provides concise and clear solution to various problems. Yeah, we kind of got a glimpse of that, of his problem solving situation, you know. It's so thick that you can only have time to skim through it. Yep, his is the big one. Wow, I was wrong. And Mingo, that doesn't seem to have a lot of ambition, wants to things stay as they are, it seems. Mingo manifest covers domestic affairs quite comprehensively, focus on people's livelihood. Okay. The core principle seems to be the greater good means a world that works for everyone. Communism. I mean, what?
Finished, huh? What did you think?
Everyone took it very seriously.
Of course.
Of course they did. They have the chance to be
Exactly,
the new
Yelan.
Tianshu, so you can bet they're putting their best foot forward. And keep in mind,
It only makes
whoever
sense.
gets in has to execute their plan as written. Nobody wants to have any
Yeah,
regrets.
you have to be very detailed and planned out how to do it. What do you think?
That's for me to know and you to find out. We can
Of course,
talk
she's
more
not
after
gonna
the
share
interviews.
anything.
We'll see
What
the
did I
candidates tomorrow.
expect?
Let's do one at a time. Start with Chenwei.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Chanwei is focused on the commercial aspect of things. As compensation.
Oh, so you two
and
are the assessment
and
officers,
such.
are you? I had assumed that given the great import of this situation, Lady Ningguang would perhaps be assessing us in person. I certainly hadn't imagined I'd be seeing two entirely unfamiliar faces.
Oh, but they're very
I trust you've read
important
through my
people.
manifesto. I'd be more than happy to clarify any details you found difficult to grasp. It was written with an expert audience in mind, after all.
Well,
Mind your tone, mister.
exactly, Paimon. He's not giving a great first impression, you know?
Relax.
Very snob.
It wasn't intended as a personal slight against anyone in particular. I was simply stating a fact.
Did you learn that from your communication skills?
Cloud Retainer?
Oh,
You know this
then your
Adeptus?
cloud. Did you learn that from Cloud Retainer?
Yes,
I hate
remember
options like
now.
that.
You must be the traveler that people are constantly talking about.
Thank you. You finally remember who I am. But yeah, I hate when options are like that, like A and B. But actually, you answer A and then B. Like, that's not a choice at all.
With your sterling reputation, you must have a respectable level of erudition. Perhaps you will be able to understand the concepts I have put forward. Yeah, although I shouldn't get my hopes up.
Wow. Oh,
Oh,
I guess I
is
didn't
it my
really
turn?
need to remember anything, because they
Yes.
just skipped through the
Please introduce
interview.
yourself.
I'm, Mingbo. I work in the Ministry of Civil Affairs. I've worked there for, 9 years, 5 months, and 3
Wow,
days.
he
In that
remembers
time, I've
exact
handled,
details.
2,347 cases. I have 12 active cases at the moment. They should be concluded in, 16 days? My current work is related to urban planning, and I'm also responsible for, auditing the accounts.
Yeah,
To be more precise, there are 3 parts to the accounts, namely,
Is it just Paimon, or is he not very good at public speaking?
yeah.
You know what? Let's leave the self-introduction there and move on to some questions.
oh, okay, sorry.
What's the word I'm looking for? He, not exactly flubbing, but like
Hello.
having trouble getting the word out.
Not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little nervous. What
Honestly,
would you like to know?
you're the
here to
best one
assess
so
you,
far, man.
Ask away, and I'll answer your questions to the best of my ability.
Your manifesto is very wide in its scope, but you
Yeah.
don't seem to be personally involved in many of the specific fields.
Hmm,
How can you be sure that you have the ability to put your plan into action?
I see. There isn't. I did not realize he wasn't involved in them. That was
Very fair
blunt.
question. I completely understand where you're coming from. But I'm confident in my plan. I've visited many different places, talked to lots of people with far more expertise than myself, and my manifesto is the conclusion of these efforts.
Okay.
Of course, two different problems can be interconnected in very complicated ways, and you might reach two very contradictory conclusions depending on which one you're focusing on. What I've tried to do is strike a balance. In other words,
Interesting.
present an optimal solution to all the problems as a whole.
How do you plan to determine whether you are right or wrong about your proposed solution being the optimal one?
A great question. Well, I'd start by having my colleagues and the secretaries of the Yuehai Pavilion
Okay.
evaluate any proposals before implementation.
But that also is giving them more
Post-implementation,
work.
It would all come down to the results. If it turned out that my judgment was to blame for poor results, I would take responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Nice answer.
Okay.
All right.
Taking
next
responsibility. That's good. Yeah. So far, he's the best one.
He seems like a great guy. Everything he said was thoughtful and logical, and
Like,
he was just a pleasure.
there
to
is
listen to.
some problematic things there, but overall, he was the best one so far.
Here's my take on what we just learned.
Okay, now let's see what
As you
Yelan
saw,
says.
Xianyun is highly knowledgeable. He proposes many excellent ideas in his manifesto, which effectively target the big issues.
Uh-huh.
But he is very proud and
Yes.
incredibly stubborn. He doesn't care much
Yes.
about other people's feelings. Mingguo's plan is more thorough and more measured.
Yeah,
You can
he's
tell he's
very
meticulous in his
detailed.
work, very detail-oriented.
Exactly.
But he and Shenwei are otherwise polar opposites. Mingguo is not very articulate and comes across as very timid in conversation.
Perfect summary. Paimon couldn't agree more. You're good at this, Yelan.
Last but not
I mean,
least, Jur-E.
That's why
His
she's the one
manifesto
doing
is full
this.
of pertinent details, his methodology is sound, and his proposals cover a broad range of fields, which is quite a rare feat. The depth he goes into in each and every area means it can only be a product of painstaking work. Plus, he is modest and good at dealing with people. But what really interests me is that many of his views happen to coincide with Uncle Tien's.
Oh,
Having someone like Jur-E take the position would certainly put Uncle Tien's mind at
so
rest.
like-minded
Great.
individuals.
We'll see.
Yeah,
Let's go back and report
like,
to Uncle Tien.
it seems it might be too good to be true, so we'll have to see how this turns out. And just for the record, yep, she.
I see. Then it's more or less as I anticipated.
All right, then let me ask this. The ideas in Jur-E's manifesto are very similar to your own. Is there any particular reason behind this?
Oh, I didn't want to say anything when I gave you the list of candidates.
Did he get involved in this?
But I can tell you now. Those 3 candidates have all studied under me in
All
the
3,
past.
huh?
It's only natural that they share some similarities
But
with me.
most
But Xianyun
one
went
most
on to focus on his business, and Mingguo has always been occupied with his
Okay,
work at the
I'm getting my
Ministry
answer
of
now.
Affairs. Of all of them, Jur-E was with me for the longest duration.
Whoa. So how did you get to know them all, Uncle Tien?
Qianwei was referred to me by an old friend. Mingguo came to my attention in the course of my work. As for Jur-E, that was pure happenstance. We first met while fishing. Gradually, as we got to know each other, we started discussing all sorts of topics.
I see.
Jur-E came from a poor family, and his parents
The
died
fishing
when he was very
conversation.
young. But he was
Oh.
a gifted student.
Of course,
and a fast
that
He
parents
reminded
die
me
young.
of a younger
It wouldn't be
version of
Genshin
myself.
if they
So,
didn't have
I
sad
started
backstories,
out
huh?
giving him a few words of advice when we were out fishing, and noticed how quickly he got on.
Sound like he's a Frenchie.
Quite. And now, all of a sudden, he's grown into a mature young man. It's a joy to see, but it also gets one thinking. The young are growing up, and I am growing old.
Basically,
How
the
time
tale.
flies. No one can escape the cycle of life.
I don't know, Uncle Tian. You still seem in pretty good shape to me. You might have another few years of work left in you, don't you think?
Oh, you. There's really no need to console me. Having less energy than I used to isn't a
No one can be
bad
happy,
thing.
not allowed to.
It just means I finally have a good reason to retire and spend my days
So,
doing what old men like
Is
me
this
should be
actually
doing.
it?
Going fishing whenever I feel like it.
Sounds like you sure love fishing, Uncle Tien.
Ooh, there's nothing quite like fishing to pass the time. Ooh, and freshly caught fish, they make the most beautiful fish soup with barely any preparation required.
Fresh fish soup.
Calm down, Paimon.
Sounds tasty.
Doesn't it? Also, some time ago, Juri purchased a very special recipe from an old fisherman. When we've been fishing recently, Juri always brings some extra ingredients he prepared in advance. The addition of these makes the soup taste even more wonderful. That flavor makes for a fond memory. But at my age, who knows how many more chances I have left to taste it again.
Very many chances, I'm sure. Don't think like that.
Oh, can Paimon come next time too? Paimon really wants to try it.
Let's get back to the matter at hand. Uncle
Of
Tian,
course, Paimon
you've
gets
avoided
distracted with
Do
food.
you have a verdict?
I appointed you as the assessment officer. And I
His
trust your
verdict
judgment.
is
Had you
Yelan
not asked me
pick.
why Juri's ideas were so similar to mine, I was not going to mention my history with any of them. This decision must be guided by what is fair and right. Please disregard all other considerations and make your final decision only after a thorough review of each candidate's talents and capabilities. Remember, you must be thorough.
Understood. Come on, let's go talk somewhere else.
Bye-bye, Uncle Tien. Look after yourself. So, it's gonna be Juri, right? His manifesto was written well, and he's the best speaker.
Easy. Let's not rush. There's no
Yeah.
time limit for this assessment.
Huh?
You know, we can wait like
So,
another
are you
year,
gonna give
you know,
them more
before we can
tests or
finish
something?
this.
No, nothing like that. The assessment itself is complete. But let me give you a word of advice. Things are not
Yeah,
always
that
as they
that is
appear.
what I'm talking about.
The
Like,
biggest no-no
it seems
in
too good to be
intelligence work
true.
is to only get information from the person of interest themselves. The truth is almost always hidden beneath many layers of deception. You have to get information through many different channels. For example, Wenyuan, Shanghua.
Yes?
Lady Yelan, what are your orders?
Ugh! Who are they? Where did they
Don't
come
worry
from?
about it,
Did they
Paimon.
scare you? These two are Wenyuan and Shanghua. They work for me. As my trusted assistants, they are always standing guard nearby. They also perform various assignments as required. Shanghua is a business expert who gets his information by trading. Wenyuan relies on word of mouth. And there's also Upei, who's not here right now.
That meathead must have been out there on sea surveillance for some time now. Is he all right? I seem to remember that he can't swim.
And he's the one on sea
Nothing can
surveillance.
take that guy down. Certainly not a little wind and waves.
Shanghua, visit all the commerce guilds and look into Qianwei's background. Wenyuan, go to the Ministry of Civil Affairs and look through Mingbo's work files.
Yes, ma'am.
So what about Juri?
Jur-E. Well, obviously, as the most promising candidate, we will be investigating him ourselves. Let's go to the docks first. Lots of people passing through there. You can find out all kinds of things.
If we're looking for information, why don't we try talking to Bulai, the owner of Wanyu Boutique? He does business at the North Wharf. Maybe he has some news for us.
That's actually not a bad idea. Let's go and ask him.
Okay. I don't know why I even try. Okay. I'm definitely paying attention, you know? Definitely wasn't looking at something else.
What's your name, buddy? Are you here to buy some medicine? Where are your mom and dad?
Are you lost?
No, I'm not. My name's Ayu, and I'm here because...
Hey there, Chi-Chi. Hi, Gray. What's going on?
Hi, Traveler and Paimon.
You've actually come at the perfect time. This little boy seems to have gotten himself lost. I think he must be new to the city. Probably wandered away from his parents and...
No, listen to me. I'm not the one who's lost. It's my dad.
Your dad? How does a fully grown man manage to get lost in Liyue Harbor?
Well, my dad's always been kind of forgetful. In the past, he was just a little slow to react sometimes. But I'm worried that it's getting more serious.
So, what about your mom?
She went out a few days ago to gather some herbs for my dad, but she still hasn't come back. Meanwhile, my dad's been getting worse and worse. I remembered that the owner of Boo Boo Pharmacy always runs a clinic in Chingsa Village during the Lantern Rite, so I thought, why don't I take Dad to Liyue Harbor to see him there?
See, this is once again one of those cases where they give me options, but they're just one and the same.
When we got to the city gate, I took a moment to ask the Millith guards for directions to the pharmacy. And then, when I turned back around, my dad was gone. I asked the Millith guys to go find him, but he said they won't be able to send that many people. So then I figured, maybe I could ask some other people in the city to help.
You came to the right place. We're pros at finding people. Isn't that right, Traveler?
Yeah, it'll be a piece of cake for us.
Changshin can help. She has a good sense of smell, like a dog.
Hey, who's talking about me behind my back?
Cheng
Hey.
Cheng, Chi-Chi meant that as a compliment.
Yeah.
There's no need to be upset. Hello, child. You mentioned that you were looking for the owner of Boo Boo Pharmacy. How might we be of service?
You have a talking snake? Oh, are you Uncle Baizhu?
Uncle Baizhu?
Cheng Cheng, now's not the time. My dear boy, could you tell me more about your father's condition? As much as you can recall.
Yes, Dr. Baizhu.
I see. And your family lives near Qingse village, you say? I visit patients there frequently, but I don't recall ever seeing you or your parents.
Uh-huh. My mom doesn't like meeting other
Kamala,
people,
it's not
especially during Lantern Rites.
Baizu's
She
character
always
quest.
tells me to just
This is
stay at
actually
home and keep my dad
Yelan's.
company.
Because I'm trying to do
Is that so?
Yung Xiao?
Are you? By any chance,
Cloud
is your
Retainer's
mother's
quest.
name Jiangli?
Whoa, yeah, it is.
Oh, it's up?
Do
Nice.
you know my mom, Dr. Baizhu?
I certainly do. Gui, Chi-Chi, are there any pressing matters in the pharmacy at the moment? Ayu's parents are
Been a
old
Coney, huh?
acquaintances of mine, so I would very much like to assist with the search. Would the two of you have time to join me?
Don't forget us two. We already told Ayu that we'd help.
Oh, really? Well, that's wonderful. We are most grateful for your support.
You can count on us, I guess.
Chi-Chi and I need to clear up the shop front first, but once
Like-
that's taken care of, we'll be right out to help you with
This
the
is
search.
getting ridiculous.
Family is very important.
Yeah. Family is Ohana. Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten. But yeah. Let's do the Lantern Rites quest. Oh, for that, you would recommend to do Cloud Retainer's quest. Okay, let's do Cloud Retainer's quest. We can't do that. We need to do Yelan's quest. Okay, let's do Yelan's quest. Oh, look. We're going on a quest with Baizhu along the way. Like,
Thank you. Then I'll leave you to handle the pharmacy. Traveler, Paimon, why don't you come with me and Ayu? Let's start by talking to the Millilith guards at the city gates, see if they have an
Yes.
update.
no. Yeah, it started by Baizhu's quest. Yeah. Look at that. Oh. This is ridiculous.
Boring.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
Is
Farina,
there
but
anything else more interesting to do?
I'm trying, but the game does not allow it.
We searched to the north, but couldn't find anyone who matched the description.
Well, that complicates things. The city folks say there's no sign of him either. We need to start looking further afield. But where are we gonna get the people?
Excuse me, sirs. Have you found out anything about my dad yet?
Ah, hey there, buddy. Dr. Baizhu. What brings you out this way?
The boy asked for our help, so we're here to join the search. Any new
Simple as that.
developments to update us on?
Oh, thank goodness. We were just discussing how we're running out of manpower. As for updates, I'm sorry to say that we've searched the surrounding area thoroughly, but didn't find anything.
The guards at the crossing up ahead said they hadn't seen anyone either, so we don't believe he was heading towards the Guili Plains. But it is possible that he was bound for Luhua Pool.
Luhua Pool? The terrain there can be tricky to navigate. Let's hope he hasn't run into any trouble.
We'll take that area.
You will? Oh, great. We can't thank you enough.
Sorry we weren't able to find your dad, buddy.
That's okay. Thank you for trying.
Okay. Yes. We're heading to Luhua Pool. Guess here would be the best choice. Wow, at that jump, I went nowhere. I somehow lost all momentum during that jump.
Dad! Dad, can you hear me?
There's someone here.
Look, there's somebody over there. Oh no, it's... Hey, you! Stop! Don't go any further!
Watch where you're going!
Oh. Hu Tao seems to save the
Dear
day.
customer, Wangsheng Funeral Parlor does appreciate your patronage, but you needn't hasten the inevitable. Are you all right?
I appreciate the patronage, just...
Huh?
Dad!
Hey, Hu Tao!
My, who do we have
At
here?
least don't tell me we're doing a hotel
Traveler in
story
Paimon
quest as well, right?
And... my worst nightmare.
I see she still hasn't warmed to you.
Thank you, Director Hu, for saving this man.
Yes, Tamale.
Dad, are you okay? Do you
Is
recognize me?
one of your
It's
two
me,
favorite
Baizhu.
gals.
Are you?
Oh, he's having
my.
Your name is
some
Xianyun,
amnesia, huh?
and you live just west of Qingce Village. You were supposed to come to Liyue Harbor to see the doctor. Remember? Does that jog your memory?
Oh, my name is Jialiang.
See, he's just repeating what you told him.
Doctor? Yes, I'm Jialiang, and I need to see the doctor. Wait, why do I need to see the doctor?
Uh-oh. He seems in really bad shape. We need to get him back to Boo Boo Pharmacy right away. Sorry, Hu Tao. Gotta dash. Dinner's on us next time.
Hold on a second. You're not seriously thinking of taking him to Boo Boo Pharmacy in this state, are you?
Huh? Why not? What's the problem?
Come on, Baizhu. Don't tell me you haven't noticed it. Didn't your master teach you how to spot the signs?
I have no idea
Why do
what
I
she's
get
talking
the
about.
sense that you spotted them right away, but you're planning to use it for your own ends?
Am I the only one heard that
Use
problem?
what?
The audio?
What
Or...
are you talking about? Paimon's lost.
There are traces of god remains in Jialiang's system.
God remains?
Yes, but more importantly, they're on the verge of an outburst. If that happens, the consequences will be unthinkable.
Paimon, sorry. What?
God
Yeah, I am
remains?
completely lost like you, Paimon.
There's no need to worry, Director Hu. I have methods of keeping them at bay. It is the sworn duty of all who practice medicine to cure illnesses and save lives. What reason would I have to neglect a patient in need who is right there in front of me? Besides, it was my late master's dying wish to be able to save this patient in particular. Perhaps out of respect for him,
this one
you
in
could give me
particular.
a day's grace so that I have time to treat him?
Now you're bringing my great uncle into this? Baizhu, just what are you planning this time?
Merely to cure this man, nothing more. But of course, if you have any doubt as to my intentions, you are more than welcome to accompany me to Boo Boo Pharmacy and monitor my activities.
Oh, really? I thought I was persona non grata at Boo Boo Pharmacy. You're being unusually generous today.
Yeah, we won't let things get out of hand.
Okay, deal. We're not gonna solve anything by keeping Jialiang here. I'm happy to do it your way, but only for my great uncle's sake and the travelers, of course.
You must be pleased you brought the traveler along. Otherwise, this would have been a much more vexing ordeal.
Well, time is of the essence. Let's get ourselves back to Boo Boo Pharmacy at once.
I just... the convoluted quest situation. Oh, at least you teleported me back to the Boo Pharmacy?
Blockages
Okay.
within the cardiovascular system. Reduced blood flow and energy circulation? I see. I suppose this must have caused the cognitive abnormalities.
Dr. Baizhu, how bad is it? Can you cure him?
Don't you worry. Baizhu's a really great doctor. He's sure to find a way. Isn't that right, Baizhu?
Ayu, do you know when your father first started displaying these symptoms?
I'm not sure. He's been like this for as long
as you can remember, huh?
But it wasn't as bad as this when I was still little.
So it's been a long time indeed.
Is it a green prognosis?
No. I have a treatment plan in mind. We can start tonight. Come and see me again tomorrow morning. I promise that by then, Ayu will find his father healthy and lucid again.
Thank you, Dr. Baizhu. Thank you so much.
If you still have any misgivings, Director Hu, please feel free to hang around for as long as you wish.
However, it would be best if you step outside this room. A doctor must be able to focus.
So he's gonna do it in secret. If nobody's seen.
Distractions heighten the risk of complications.
Yes, of course, absolutely. I'll just go and look at the flowers or something. But I will be back in an instant at the first sign that something's amiss.
We'll be heading out now, Chin.
See you tomorrow, Baizhu and Chung.
Bye for now, everyone.
Are you ready, Baizhu?
Ready as I'll ever be. I'm used to it by now. Come on, let's get started.
I wonder what exactly do they mean by that.
All's well that ends well, huh? You know, Paimon's kind of curious after hearing Baizhu mention those people from his past. What do you think they were like?
You mean his master?
Yeah, you must be curious too, right? Let's go see what we can find out while Baizhu's busy treating Ayu's dad.
Really? That's what we're gonna be doing? Hold up. Oh, it finally opened up. I don't know why that allowed it, but we're finally able to start this quest. So now we have three quests that are open. Definitely not confusing at all. But hey, this was our objective all along, so. Hopefully I don't die from the fall.
Right outside our place. Do you still remember the first time we came here? We even brought offerings and everything.
Yeah.
When we told her that Rex Lapis had been assassinated, she immediately threatened to squash Liyue Harbor.
Yeah, I remember that.
She'd be impossible to get along with. But now that we've spent some more time together, she's really not like that at all. We probably don't need to bring any offerings now that we've gotten to know her pretty well, right? Still, Paimon's got some snacks around here somewhere, so if she really wants something, we can just use that. Huh? Traveler, did something catch your eye?
Don't think we ever seen her before.
Whoa, what a pretty lady. Is she also here to visit Cloud Retainer?
She's also Cloud Retainer. You're like she could also be a powerful adeptus, you know?
Yeah, you're right. All it takes is one look and you can tell she's someone special. As expected of that bird lady, really. She must have a whole bunch of Adepti friends from all over the country. Okay, but if we're both friends of Cloud Retainer, then we're basically
So close
friends
by
by
mine.
association,
So
right?
close.
Want to go up to her and say hello?
Who knew you were such a social butterfly, Paimon?
Helping you make more connections is a part of Paimon's job as your reliable guide. Paimon's got this. Hello. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler.
Say everything in nice, even tone.
Paimon doesn't think we've met, but we're also friends of Cloud Retainer. May we have the pleasure of learning your name, Madam Adeptus?
You two... What is this tomfoolery? Has a shift in form so clouded your eyes that you no longer recognize them anymore?
A shift in form does help, you know. Cloud Retainer.
Huh? You're the illuminated bird? But you look human.
It's almost like she transformed, you know.
Oh, donning human form is scarcely any test of one's abilities. As for your confusion, one merely had no reason to indulge such inclinations before.
So, you're indulging now?
Yeah, I was curious to see the reason, to know the reason why.
Well, one has made plans to pay a visit to some disciples at Liyue Harbor. Taking on a human form for such a trip is simply a way to make matters less conspicuous.
By disciples, do you mean Shenhe and Ganyu?
About keeping a low profile? You're the one who likes to pop up out of nowhere all over the place. In fact,
Calm down, Paimon.
several examples, like last year when you suddenly appeared on the top of a roof without any warning, or
Feels like Cloud Retainer has her reasons, but doesn't want to discuss them too openly. I almost forgot. Paimon brought you some gifts.
Hey, didn't we agree not to bring that up unless she asked?
Oh, so you have taken care to follow the proper rules of etiquette after all. Most commendable.
Yes, very proper.
Well, this is all Paimon's got. You don't mind, right?
One has never found oneself lacking in basic comforts.
And there we
On
go,
the
she's talking
contrary,
as
it is
oneself.
the gesture that one values above all else. So long as you've shown proper respect and consideration, the quantity or quality of the gift is but a trivial matter.
That kinda makes Paimon feel a little guilty for trying to keep them for herself. Anyway, where were we before you reminded Paimon about the gifts?
He was gonna visit some disciples.
Ah, right. So by disciples, you must mean Ganyu and Shenhe. It's also been
Right?
a while since we last saw them. Maybe we
Or is
can
it
just
somebody
chill.
else we do not know
One
of?
planned to extend the invitation even if you had not raised the matter yourself. Shenhe and Ganyu should be quite pleased to see you again.
Okay.
However,
It is our-
one would first
our
inquire as
girls.
to the reason behind your visit here. You have cause to seek one's company?
No reason particular, actually. I have no idea why Paimon mentioned you in the first place, now that you mention it.
Yeah, we just found ourselves missing you and wanted to see how you were doing. We were hoping you'd tell us one of your stories. Who knew we'd run into your human form while we were at it?
Is that so? If there are no urgent matters at hand, then let us make haste for Liyue Harbor. Ganyu is likely still working at
Of
Yue
course,
Pavilion,
as always.
so that shall be our first stop.
Sounds great. Then let's
Not
all
like
go to
she's
Liyue
ever
Harbor.
stopping. Like, it's not like she ever takes a break from work. Oh? Were you talking?
Shenhe has also secured employment recently. In her correspondence with me, she wrote that she
now,
shall have no
if I'm
need to
not
return
mistaken-
for the foreseeable future. They think
Ah.
they are so easily mollified. One shall
This is
investigate
so nice.
everything with one's own eyes and decide for oneself if their living conditions are satisfactory.
Okay. Ah, yeah. I almost feel like changing my party up to have Ganyu and Shenhe. But I'm curious to know as well how Shenhe is doing in the human culture again.
pavilion. Hey, do you think Ganyu will be shocked to see Cloud Retainer like this? Guess we have no idea if Shenhe and Ganyu have ever seen her in this form before.
I imagine they have.
Wait,
Especially
where
Ganyu.
did she go?
She's back there.
Why are you just standing there, Cloud Retainer?
Quietly now. One shall stay here. You two can go and meet with her.
But why? Isn't it better if we all go together?
If one were to proudly proclaim one's presence, Ganyu would surely profess herself otherwise unoccupied and drop everything to attend to one's visit. One fears that would only result in her staying up all night to make up for lost time.
Oh.
One does not wish
Yeah,
to
that does
trouble
sound
her.
like her.
Conversing vicariously via you two shall suffice. Do remember
Really?
to inquire as to her recent
So we're
well-being.
the
Again,
median
do
here,
not
huh?
mention one's presence here.
Fair enough. Makes sense. Alright then, we'll just pass on your regards and...
Cloud Retainer?
Oh, well, you're late.
Oh, busted.
Is that lady someone you know, Ms. Ganyu?
Basically,
She
her,
is indeed. I'm
it's her
sorry,
adoptive
Wei Shin,
mother.
But could we delay the upcoming meeting for a little bit? I believe my schedule today is quite full. Although, perhaps I could move some work to later in the evening.
Just like
Not to
Cloud
worry,
Retainer
Miss
said.
Ganyu. I'll make the necessary arrangements right away. Thank you, Wei Shin.
There's Wei Shin.
It's been a while, Ganyu.
Greetings. What brings you here today? And Cloud Retainer, too. It's been quite some time since I last saw you in this form.
You are quite mistaken. One is not acquainted with this Cloud Retainer of whom you speak.
It's not like you're
One is
talking.
simply a mere mortal passerby.
A mortal?
Huh?
You're saying talking as
she's
one's
not buying
self? And she had seen your transformation before. 3 strikes, you're out. And you saw right through her.
That was but a simple test. One did not
A
expect
simple
you to be
test.
able to recognize one so easily, especially after so many years of only seeing one's other form.
And he looks totally bewildered. She's thinking, why wouldn't I recognize you? I used to see you every day. How bad do you think my memory is?
But recognizing you is, my responsibility as your disciple.
Yeah.
An apt observation. One was simply passing by while attending to some important business. One thought it would only be fitting to pay you a visit
Yes,
while in
of
the
course.
area.
Wait, Paimon
She was
wasn't
passing
aware of
by.
any important...
Time on.
Cloud Retainer's right. We've still got something super important to do, so we can't stay here for too long today.
Smooth.
Oh, is that so? But it's been so long since we last saw each other.
One simply desired to see you and had no intention of interrupting your work. A quick conversation should suffice for today. A more involved reunion should wait until you find yourself less occupied.
I understand. That should be fine.
While one acknowledges the amount of work that you have to deal with every day, one must also remind you to rest. Though Adepti blood flows through your veins, excessive exhaustion will still cause grave harm to your body. It still makes one nostalgic to see you as you are now, respected and independent. When you were young, you oft begged one to cuddle you to sleep when
No.
you suffered from nightmares.
Cloud Retainer! Stop!
If you insist. We are running short on time regardless, so one will refrain from going into each and
I
every
wouldn't mind.
story. Why don't you continue your
Cuddles protect from
conversation?
nightmares,
I
Ganyu.
shall simply stand by and listen.
Wow, you've been to so many new places since the last time we spoke. If you ever need anything,
Yeah,
please
Inazuma,
just come find me at
Sumeru.
Yuehai Pavilion.
I got a glimpse of Fontaine.
Forgive me for my presumptuousness, Cloud Retainer, but if you plan to continue appearing in this form, don't you think it'd be helpful to adopt a human name?
Oh,
A human
she's
name?
gonna get a human name here.
You raise a valid point. Considering the sheer extent of one's renown, Cloud Retainer is surely too recognizable as a name.
Yes, recognizable.
Not that you're not famous.
Paimon.
But that famous?
You presume to know the extent of one's illustrious achievements. One would hardly think such a thing to be possible. Nevertheless, Ganyu's advice cannot be ignored. From this point on, when in public occasions, be sure to refer to one as Xianyun.
Xianyun. I kept calling her Yunsha. It's opposite.
I assume that's a reference
Xianyun.
to the full record of Pristine Pavilion. An Adeptus of years past would rise with the clouds and rest with the moon. They were enlightened and wise, free and unfettered. The writer referenced Master's name to describe her carefree and spontaneous nature.
Oh, that sounds super cool! Paimon feels like only the most powerful of Adepti could rise with the clouds and rest with the moon.
Actually, those lines were originally written to describe Cloud Retainer herself.
Huh? Wait, so you're really that powerful?
And what of it? Did you truly take one to be nothing more than a bird of bigger than average size?
I'm also a tinker and a engineer. Yeah, that's totally what Paimon had in mind.
To be fair, Cloud Retainer rarely speaks of her past accomplishments. The tales of her past can only be found in ancient texts. It is said that once, a long, long time ago, there was a severe drought in Liyue. Left with no choice, many people left their homes, while others spent day and night praying to the Adepti. Although I did not live through such tragedy, simply reading about it is enough to gain a visceral understanding of all the pain and desperation during that time. On top of the drought, a
What did
noxious
Cloud
gas
Retainer
also
do
began to
back
spread
then?
through the land. If not for Cloud Retainer's efforts, much of Liyue would be nothing more than a barren wasteland today.
Impressive.
The books had this to say about what happened. Upon arrival, the Adeptus borrowed the wind to retain the clouds. Immediately, the clouds gathered together, and abundant rain burst forth from the heavens. Drought and plague were both driven away, and the people were saved.
Just controlling the weather, basically.
Incredible!
Mortal records add embellishments to dramatize past events. One did merely what one ought, and even if one had not interceded, the other Adepti would surely have stepped in to help.
Even so, you stopped an entire drought! Can you really control the weather like the book said? Oh, Paimon suddenly has a lot more respect for you.
Okay, Paimon.
Paimon's bad for calling you Illuminated Bird before. You're not too mad, are you?
How laughable. A name is but a simple label we carry with us on our journey through the world. Why would one be offended by such a trivial matter?
Okay.
That's a relief. In that case, Paimon will continue to call you whatever feels right in the moment.
Well, that is quite enough ancient history for now. Ganyu, have you had word from
Yeah,
Shenhe?
I'm curious about her as well.
One has heard that she procured a job recently. Have you any thoughts on her workplace? And what, pray tell, of her monthly remuneration? Moreover, does she find herself overly inundated with work? Is she allowed
Look
time
at
off during
the
Lantern
mom,
Rites?
all worried about one of her daughters.
Is a lot of questions.
There is no cause for concern, Cloud Retainer. I introduced Shenhe to her employer personally. Wanmin Restaurant's business has been booming recently.
Wanmin Restaurant.
So with Chef Mao being swamped with customers, and Shangling still off and out in search of new recipes, I introduced Shenhe to staff the restaurant.
I see. Most
Okay.
excellent indeed.
Did not
One has
expect
had
that.
the pleasure of being introduced to that family. Shangling is kind and astute, while her father is loyal and reliable. one has no cause to believe that they will make Shenhe's work difficult. Now, it is almost time to partake in the victuals of noon. One shall visit Wanmin Restaurant in person and see how Shenhe is doing.
Yes.
But didn't you just say that you had something important to do?
Can that wait until after we've eaten?
You may return to your work, Xianyun. One shall see to this matter on one's own. There will be many an occasion to dine together in the future. One is certain the opportunity shall present itself most readily.
Of course, Cloud Retainer. Please take care. Traveler, Paimon, I'll see you some other time.
Okay.
See you around, Ganyu!
Bye-bye, Ganyu.
Paimon was pretty quick on the uptake there, don't you think? As soon as you mentioned important business to attend to, Paimon realized that you were just looking to cut the conversation short and not take too much of Ganyu's time. Is Paimon right?
No, in fact, it was not an excuse. One is indeed visiting Liyue Harbor for an important purpose.
Wait, for real?
The moment is not yet upon us. Still, the truth will be revealed to you in time.
Huh.
Huh. She really seems to be playing up the whole mysterious Adeptus thing right now. Is it because we just heard that cool story about her powers?
Okay, the story is over, so Wanmin Restaurant. Look at Shenhe there.
You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, how can I not? Not even fine food is enough to distract from the presence of a fine lady, eh?
Oh, I'm far more interested in getting her details than ordering any dishes. Hey,
Wow.
how about you ask her? You do it. No.
I'm in.
I think you should. Wait,
Understandable.
she's coming.
What can I get for you today?
Greetings, miss. I was just wondering if you'd be willing to...
What would you like to order?
It's very direct.
2 servings of more meat to go. Good chat. Bye.
Welcome. It's been a while. May I take your order?
Don't welcome us as guests and greet us as old friends in the same line. It's weird.
Huh? Been a while.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and this is?
Oh.
This is Miss
She does not know the transformation.
Master?
And never mind.
One does not recall ever revealing this form to you before. How
Yeah,
are
so-
you able to ascertain one's true identity with such ease?
I've trained and lived with Master for more than 10 years. I would recognize you no matter what form you take.
Then why did you ask?
You...
Aw. Look at that. She's getting
Is something
emotional.
the matter, Master?
Hardly. One simply learned of your employment from your letter and
Just
came to
a
check on
mother
your
getting
well-being.
emotional over one of her daughters.
Food too.
Indeed. It's almost lunchtime. My apologies. I'm still on the clock and can't talk for very long.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon, are you here for Shenhe? The lunch rush isn't in yet, Shenhe. So I've got things covered for now. Go ahead, sit down and enjoy some time
I
with
do
your
not
friends.
remember Chef
I'll
Mao's
let you
voice
know if
being
things
like
pick up.
this.
Thank you, Chef Mao.
Then again, it's been forever since I heard his voice. So... Ah, over there.
It is just as one expected. The owner of Wanmin Restaurant is indeed a most reasonable and accommodating human. Still, the work here entails dealing with quite a varied group of people. Has this been difficult for you, Shenhe?
It's been manageable so far. I sometimes run into strange people.
Yeah, a
but
lot
I've figured out a way to
to
deal
learn.
with them.
You know?
Seems like you've been making progress. So by dealing with them...
I don't think she means by combat. I hope.
First, I try to talk sense into them. If that doesn't work, I threaten them with violence. At this point, they usually decide they are in favor of a civil
Okay,
conversation.
at least she tries the conversation first, you know?
How should Paimon put this?
Sounds reasonable enough, I guess.
Oh, a sensible plan. One is gladdened to see you integrate so well into human society.
And you, Master? How have you been?
Simply marvelous. Though Mount Outsong has scarcely enjoyed your presence recently, one has hardly found the pleasure of one's own company to be lacking.
Uh-huh.
I see.
Right.
Just as expected of Master.
She misses you, Shanha. What she meant to say is, she actually misses the Chewy a lot. Yeah, exactly.
I have missed Master quite a bit too. Even though work has been busy lately, I've already had a conversation with Chef Mao about taking some time off soon to visit Master.
Oh, you did? Do make note of such matters in your letters in the future. There's hardly a need to keep one in suspense.
Look at that.
Whoa.
The emotional side was coming up.
Just
So
like
then
that.
By the
she
way,
had put up
Master,
that
since you are in
wall
Liyue
there.
Harbor, have you had the chance to visit Ganyu?
Indeed. She is similarly preoccupied with her work.
Yeah, that's just
There was
Ganyu.
time only to exchange a few simple pleasantries.
Ganyu told us the story of Cloud Retainer's name. It was amazing. We never knew how powerful she was before.
I see. In that case, allow me to also share a story about Master's
Ooh.
past.
What story is this?
Is that a problem, Master? I believe this to be a good topic of conversation.
No, not a problem. One was simply caught off guard. But no matter. Please, proceed. One is most curious to see how much of one's own
Right?
conversational prowess you possess.
Master
curious.
once participated in a race against Mooncarver. After Mooncarver lost, he insisted that Master's ability to fly gave her a natural edge in such a contest. In response, Master agreed to forego flying in return for being able to use one of her devices in the
Oh,
race.
her devices.
Mooncarver accepted, only to find Master with a brand new device on the day of the contest.
Huh. What kind of device was it?
It was a mechanical vehicle made out of iron. What was it called again? Oh, an electro-powered bicycle?
So a
You refer
motorbike.
to the bicyclical Thunder Flashmobile. One spent 49 days conceptualizing
Thunder
and crafting
Flashmobile.
it. It need only be infused with adeptal energy, and it can cover thousands of miles in one day. Oh, it boggles the mind why Mooncarver ever supposed he might best me in a contest of locomotion. Though he sprinted with all his might, he could barely keep up.
I mean,
Alas, the one
either she
flaw of
has
my
her
methods
flying
lay in its
ability
weakness
or
against
her
mountainous terrain.
devices.
One was thwarted mere seconds from victory when it was thrown off course and failed to make it across the final stretch. Truly a most unfortunate turn of events. Anyway, do go on, Shenhe.
Master, that was the end of that story.
Is that so? Huh. With you gone, one has seldom felt the desire to call upon those old fossils for another contest. What is a race without spectators, after all?
Really?
Have you been lonely, Master?
Lonely? Huh. At one's age, entire human generations come and go in the blink of an eye. Even one's own self-directed musings can span several days and nights.
That means
It's
yes.
the most foreign sentiment. The mere mention of it is preposterous.
Right. See? Not even Paimon
What
believes
is
it.
the reason for that look upon your face?
It's nothing. It's just... Well, Paimon gained a lot of respect for you after listening to that story of you summoning the rain and everything. But all it took was a few words out of your mouth and it's like you're back to being that illuminated bird again. Paimon's just a little bit confused. Which one of the two is the real Cloud Retainer?
To me, they are both, Master. One is the Master that's widely revered by the people. while the other is the master that I respect and adore.
Huh. One finds oneself exalted yet again with sweet words of praise and flattery of a most extravagant nature. You chose to exalt one with your words, yet you refuse to grace Mount Outsong with your presence for any extended period of time.
Sometimes you're a bit
One
too
would
busy to
almost
do
question
stuff
the
like this, you know.
sincerity of your
As much as you
estimations.
want to do it.
This is not to say that your words paint an inaccurate picture. One has always lived by a single ideal. Eschew all action and abide by no rule. One does as one pleases and speaks as one pleases. Others may critique or praise as they see fit, yet one places little weight in such judgments.
She got like, what, 2 sentences of flattery from her disciple, and it's as if her ego is about to burst.
Do you have any empty
I'm in.
tables?
She got praise from her daughters. Of course she would have an inflated ego. And it looks like Shenhe has to go back to work.
I'm hearing more guests come in. I should get back to work.
Alright, good luck with the lunchtime rush, Shenhe.
Mm-hmm. I'll try my best.
Oh, that was nice. As more and more guests begin to trickle in, Paimon takes the opportunity to order a whole something of delicious dishes. Is the food to your taste, Cloud Retainer?
One is fond of all kinds of delicacies and delights in a multitude of flavors.
Okay, not much of a
Dishes
picky
here
eater at all.
demonstrate no shortage of culinary skill. Their unique flavor profile has left one more than satisfied. In fact, one has been struck by quite the fit of inspiration. One has already begun to conceptualize the next generation.
Just
of
ideas
supreme
overflowing,
cuisine
you know.
machines.
Everything's so tasty. A bit too hot at times, but still super tasty.
I'm sorry, miss, but our tables are full.
Shall we try somewhere else, Granny?
But it smells so delightful. Can we really not eat here? My poor legs can't go on for much longer.
Well, you could always check with some of the other guests and see if anyone's happy to share a table.
Okay, I'll ask around.
Yeah, sharing a table sometimes. Are we gonna be the one sharing a table?
Excuse me. Would you mind letting us share a table with you? There are no empty tables left, so...
Ah, well, Paimon doesn't mind. What about you guys?
As long as you don't mind our chatter. So I'm not really sure how much chatter we can
Thanks
do
so much.
about
My name is
the
Xianyun, and
Adeptus.
this is my granny, Yuendai.
Shiyu and Yonde.
Yep. Is there something wrong with that?
Oh. Okay, Cthulhu. What were you doing?
Surprised. She looks so young.
Yeah. A lot of people compliment Granny on her youthful looks, but she's actually much older than she appears. Granny? Why don't you take a seat? Come on, it's not polite to stare.
Huh. Have we met before?
No.
Tis a
One.
fated meeting, then. Please, take a seat.
What would you like to
Interesting.
eat, Granny? I can order for you.
I want braised earthworms. They always pop up out of the ground after a rainstorm.
No, not this again. Granny,
I
there's
see,
no braised
Cthulhu.
earthworms on the menu.
Braised earthworms? Well, that sounds weird. Do people actually eat that?
Huh.
Right, that's what Paimon was thinking too.
I feel like
Need any help?
Help? Oh, do you mean with Granny? Thanks, that's nice of you to offer.
Granny has pretty bad dementia, so her memory's getting worse all the time. She's always saying things that sound kinda confusing. Actually, her memory's been bad ever since I was little. But it's gotten so bad lately that I even have to remind her who I am every morning.
What about your parents, right?
You died young.
Of course.
It's just me and Granny
As we
now.
were talking about earlier, you know,
Oh,
Leo and parents, they don't match.
But it's okay. Don't feel bad. Granny loves me a lot, and I love her a lot too. Sure, it's hard at times, but you just gotta make the best of the life you've got.
Yeah, be positive.
You're really tough for your age, kid.
You're too kind.
And me? Oh, what about me?
You're tough too, Granny. Plus, you're really gentle, and you're always there for me.
Yes, and it's hardly as if I forget everything. I still remember the important things.
Like?
What was that really important thing again? Ah, I remember now. It was a dream. I had a dream where everything was dark. Someone
have
was
a
standing
dream.
in front of me.
You have a
She
dream.
told me to come and find her, and that once I'd found her, I would be free.
Let me reread that one. It seems important. Everything was dark. Someone would stand in front of me. She told me to come and find her. Found her. I would be free.
Huh?
Free
That
from
sounds
what?
super important. But how come you've never told
I was
me
just
about it
talking
before?
about that being
It
an
was
important
just a
dream.
dream, so I forgot about it. But I'm in a good mood now, and somehow I remembered it again. Ah, you know, I believe I've had this dream a great many times. But just how many times have I had it? Now that I do not remember.
Wait, so you have a reoccurring
Fair.
dream where someone's talking to you? That sounds spooky. Does that mean you're possessed?
Unlikely. Her eyes are clear and her breathing remains calm and level. One sees no signs of possession.
Are you sure?
Who do you take me for? Is one not an adept? Am I not an expert?
And you?
You're right. Paimon almost forgot you're the expert. In that case, do you still remember what the person in your dreams looked like, Granny?
Not anymore. Although, I have a sense that she looked rather like me. But not as I am now. My younger self.
A younger version of Granny?
This is just getting weirder and weirder. What is
It's a
going
dream.
on here?
What did you expect, Paimon?
As one said, fate must have brought us together. You may leave this situation to me.
Are you sure? So, what are your names?
Paimon's Paimon.
Here. Kitsu.
Just Xianyun is fine.
Thank you all so much for offering to help. But first, I'm sorry for asking, but, how do you want us to pay you back?
Oh, we don't need any payment for this.
We don't need any payment for this. We're just curious about your situation and want to help if we can.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. But Miss Xianyun, what exactly can we do to help out this granny?
Good question.
All we have to go off is that dream. Where do we start?
That is elementary. Since her
Elementary,
dreams
dear
portray
Watson.
her younger self, then we shall retrace the steps of her youth. Once we have revisited those
Okay.
places, her memories will likely return.
What if she's from abroad?
Sounds like a plan. So, Granny, do you remember which places you went to when you were young?
Why, of course I do. The heavens above, the earth wispy clouds and the emerald mountain streams.
Very detailed.
Taking that as a no.
I mean, it's detailed, but also not giving
Once
enough
when I was
information.
Really little, my dad told me that Granny used to be a martial artist heroine who saved loads of people from a disaster. If it's true, then maybe they wrote about it in the history books or something.
A martial arts heroine? Oh, Shinjo knows tons about Liyue's chivalric traditions. If anyone knows about the heroes of the past, it's him. Let's go find him at the Feiyun Commerce Guild.
Are you leaving already? But I'm still hungry.
I'll
Hey.
go order some food, Granny.
Yeah, you
If
can
there's
just eat
nothing
their
on the
food.
menu you especially want,
He doesn't
I'll
need
just
to
get a
worry
few
about me
different
leaving.
things.
It seems we must part ways for now. The Traveler and Paimon are bound for the Feiyun Commerce Guild.
Yes.
While Yuendai and Shuyu shall remain here and partake of their lunch. As for myself, I have matters to discuss with Streetward Rambler.
Streetward Rambler? Oh, you mean Madam Ping!
Precisely. Let us meet at Yujing Terrace once you are
Oh,
ready.
Ping is very knowledgeable about human stuff. No. And let's go.
Each to your heart's content.
Oh, here. I feel like I was at a similar distance over there as well. But oh well. Hi, Xingshu.
Huh. It's you two.
We're just meeting a
brings
whole
you
bunch
here?
of characters today, you know?
Oh, great, we found you! We wanted to ask you about something.
That's not a whole lot of information to go off of. I don't know if I can say for sure.
Anything's helpful. I appreciate it.
Pinpoint her identity from your description alone.
You know?
But
Don't need to go
considering
too
her
hard
age,
into it.
I am reminded of a nameless heroine who's been featured in various chivalric novels.
Nameless heroine?
That's right. The novels often speak of a great drought from 50 years ago. As the people suffered, a nameless heroine appeared and began to clear away evil spirits in bandit camps. The people idolized her, but never learned her name. All they knew was that she always acted alone. Later, though, she supposedly fell in love with a similarly noble-minded exorcist from Mount Tianheng. They were well matched in more ways than one,
Exorcist from Mount
often
Tianheng.
fighting together as a fearsome duo of otherworldly strength. After the drought ended, the heroine and the exorcist left the public eye and began living a reclusive life in the mountains. All that remained were tales of her incredible accomplishments. The way this nameless heroine faded from fame into obscurity later in life is not too dissimilar from Miss Yuendai. I hope that's somewhat helpful.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Shinjo. We knew it'd be worth talking to you.
At least we got like a reference.
It's nothing at all. Just something I came across while reading. I did do a bit of extra research on her story, but it was just out of personal curiosity.
Well, Paimon still thinks that's super cool. Oh, wait, Shinjo, if you've read up on her, do you know of any places often associated with her?
Let me think. In the novels, the nameless heroine always appeared near one of 3 places. Wangshu Inn, the area just north of Jueyun Karst, and Qingyun Peak. Perhaps the real-life heroine who inspired the character was also often seen near those 3 places. That would explain why those locations appear in the various novels written about her.
You were a huge help.
You're welcome. To be honest, I found some parts of the story confusing when I first came across it.
If Miss Yuenda
Yeah,
was
I can
indeed
imagine
the
that.
original inspiration for the character, she may just be able to help me put the pieces together. It's rare for a chivalric hero to fade into obscurity during their lifetime, even after retiring from the public eye. But no one ever saw or heard from the nameless heroine again. There were even rumors that she became extremely ill. I've never understood why someone would go to such lengths to erase themselves from public memory. It's almost as if she was trying to hide from something. There's probably far more to the story than what's been written.
We'll be sure to tell you if we manage to uncover the
Yeah,
truth.
I guess we have learned
That's a deal.
quite a bit.
Perhaps, behind the truth of it all, there lies a story more fantastical than any work of fiction.
More story.
Paimon feels like we just learned so much from Xingqiu. A drought, a nameless heroine, a life of seclusion. Wait, why does the story sound super familiar? Oh, right! There's a drought in this story, too! Xingqiu, are droughts super common in Liyue or something?
Well, they used to be. But people have long since developed methods to prevent them, like by cultivating the soil or digging canals.
Okay.
So while droughts do happen from time to time, they are rarely regarded as true disasters. The drought 50 years ago is probably one of the worst we've had in the last several centuries. The crops withered, the streams ran dry, and the monsters in the mountains became rabid and agitated. Countless caravans were attacked, and people who lost their homes came together to form bandit groups. What started as a natural disaster soon became a human tragedy as well.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, and that's exactly why the nameless heroine was so beloved. She must have been someone of true integrity, to do so much for the people while asking nothing in return. Still, as terrible as that drought was, it was nothing compared to the truly calamitous disasters that befell this land in ancient times. They say that back in those days, disasters were both more severe and more common. Only the strongest of Adepti could hope to dispel the ruin and devastation. Do you have any other questions?
We're good for now. We're just going to head back and meet up with Miss Xianyun and the others again. Paimon hopes that Granny Yuendai will be able to remember more of her past. She used to be a great hero who saved many people. So sad that she can't recall any of it. Anyway, we'll be off now. See you some other time, Xingqiu. Thank you so much for your help.
It's no problem at all. Safe travels.
Okay. And let's go meet up with Madam Pink. Was a little knowledge detour that we did there. That one was trying to cut the corner too much.
I have recorded the tune that you requested. I hope it will be of help to you.
Oh.
Oh, thank you. Straight word, Ping. What has amused you so?
Oh, it's no serious matter. I was just reminiscing about the last time I saw you in this form. Time has wrought such change in this world, and yet you appear
It's
just
instant
the
to
same
see this
as
shoe
ever.
talking.
Time has little bearing on one's existence, nor has one keenly felt its effects whilst dwelling at Mount Outsong. Nevertheless, Ping, one would like to seek your counsel on a personal matter.
Oh, why so formal all of a sudden? I must say, you're making me a little nervous. What is it?
Well, the inquiry is as such. Approximately how much more would one need to afford a comfortable life in the harbor, not unlike the one that you yourself lead?
It does not require as much as you may think. Still, Do you
What
mean
does
that...
what does it require though?
Retainer, Madam Ping! What are you two talking about?
Nothing save for some trivial matters. Have you unearthed any useful details?
Shinto has a theory, but let's save it for when Chuyu and Miss Yundai have joined up with us again.
Do not be troubled, young lady. Here, have some tea.
Tea.
Thank you so much.
What do you think, Chuyu? Does it match up with what you know of your granny?
According to the story, the nameless heroine eventually fell in love with an exorcist from Mount Tianheng. Maybe that's my grandpa. I don't have many memories of him, but there was this one time I found a box in our attic full of a bunch of weird sigils.
Yeah, let's visit to the three places.
I think so too. Granny might remember something once she's returned to a familiar place.
What marvelous tea. I can taste the dew's sweetness in this cup. It's as if I was taking a stroll in the mountains, thoroughly one with nature.
In the mountains, huh?
And at peace.
Is that so? Then please drink as much as you like. There's no need to hurry. At our age, it's always nice to slow down and take the time to appreciate pleasant conversation among friends.
Thank you.
Oh, let's rest here a little while then.
Okay, since we have the time, can I ask you something?
Sure thing. What would you like to know?
I have a secret I want to tell you.
Secret?
Let's go talk over there.
And where is over there? Oh.
What's wrong, Chuyu?
Well, I've been kind of meaning to ask ever since we started talking in the restaurant, but are you guys all adepti in disguise?
She's good, though she only got one right.
How about that?
Well, pink too, I guess. Why would you say that?
Well, you guys just seem super special. Plus, I think I might have heard Miss Xianyun call herself an adeptus.
What? No, you must have misheard.
Xianyun, since you were the one who, misspoke, maybe you can explain to Chuyu here what you really meant by that.
One is indeed an adeptus.
Okay.
Is that of some concern to you?
I mean, the cat was out of the bag already. Yeah, you don't sound surprised at all.
Well, one time when I was a little kid, I saw a pure white illuminated crane. I had this super high fever, and Granny wasn't around. I was feeling all icky and gross. But then this snowy white crane flew down from the sky. She put me on her back and flew me to her cool adeptus
The
house
crane, huh?
and fed me some sort of magic potion. When I woke up, I was already back in my bed and my fever was gone. I really wanted to thank her, but I was too sleepy to stay awake, so I never got the chance. So, I just kind of wanted to ask if maybe any of you have ever met an adeptus like that?
A pure white illuminated crane? The only two we've
Pure
ever
white
met
crane.
are blue and white and black and brown. Have you ever met one that's pure white, Clovertina?
Never has one met an adeptus with such features. One surmises such a description is but a hyperbolic embellishment that oft results from narrative accounts.
That's weird. Was it really just a dream then? Well, even if it was just in my head, it doesn't matter that much anyway. All I really want is to help Granny recover her memories. I'm really grateful for all your help.
Yeah, that
Leave it
is
to us.
quite
Now
something.
that we know the 3 locations, we just need to visit them one by one. Let's go to Wangshu Inn first.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go get Granny.
You know, Wangshu Inn, right around the corner. I wonder if we will find Xiao here. There we go. I was wondering why I wasn't going to the teleporter. I guess it was too close to the quest.
Wangshu Inn. Wangshu Inn.
Do you remember this place, Granny?
Anything?
Yes. The fish here is very delicious. And if you look out into the distance, you can always spot a bird that's been left behind by its flock. I believe I used to have a room
Really?
here. It had a window. Yes, I spent a lot of time looking out that window. Which room was it again? Let me look.
I'll come with.
Paimon's still having some trouble understanding what she's talking about, but if she's so familiar with this place, that must mean she lived here, right? Wait, huh? Whoa! Xiao, what are you doing here all of a sudden? You scared the living daylights out of Paimon!
I sensed a non-human presence and decided
Like
to
I was
take a
saying,
look. If
Xiao
you're
showed
here,
up.
Then there's likely no trouble afoot. I suppose there's no cause for concern. It's been a while, Cloud Retainer. I see you have returned to your previous form.
Yeah. I mean, Ganyu knew about this form, so not really that surprising that Xiao knows.
I have indeed. I fought alongside her in this form on many occasions during the Archon War.
Ah, she took that form during the Archon War. Makes sense.
Oh, wait, let Paimon take a guess. Was it anything like this?
Let's see.
Behold, the glory of one's newest invention, the Bang Bang Continuous Fire Mechanism. Hands up and surrender, or be prepared to face the full might of the Adepti.
I love her
An
impression.
impressive imitation.
Paimon knows her all too well.
Even so, Cloud Retainer was not always as ostentatious as you describe. You may be unaware, but her talent with Adepti sigils is just as formidable as her skill in mechanics. The Archon War reached its peak after Guizhong's death.
Oh.
The Cloud Retainer who fought beside me in those devastating battles was taciturn and solemn, only speaking when she had to activate her sigils.
A cloud retainer who barely talks? Paimon can't picture it. But what
Paimon,
about after
please.
that? If you were so powerful in your human form, why did you decide to take up your bird form again?
Once one had bid farewell to the world of mortals, what use would one still have for such a shape? When dwelling between mountain and forest, away from the struggles and troubles of the mortal world, a mortal form is hardly the most fitting of choices.
After the war, Cloud Retainer retired to Mount Outsong, only revealing herself to the occasional visitor, and always in her avian form. Although I do believe there was an occasion some 30-odd years ago, when she decided to don
30-odd
human
years ago.
form.
Wasn't
believe it
that
was for
long
the
ago.
purpose of-
One believes there is little
Aw,
need to
come
regret
on.
on matters.
I want to know the purpose of that.
Are you okay?
Back then, at this place,
Did it have something to do
Perhaps
with,
this conversation should end
the
here.
granny?
I shall
Now
take
that I
my
think
leave.
about it.
Should you encounter any trouble, you need only call my name. However, given that you are traveling with Cloud Retainer, I trust you are in good hands.
Bye, Xiao.
I think Granny is finally beginning to remember her past.
Slowly now, calm your mind and recount what has been recalled.
A long time ago, I stayed here to recuperate from my illness.
Huh.
An
So
illness, huh?
what Shinto said was true. You did fall ill. Was that why you went into hiding?
I don't remember. I'm very sorry, but I can't even remember the name of my illness. The only thing I can remember is that it took a great toll on me.
Makes sense.
And
You remember
there
that
was
part?
no cure for it. I was confined to my room in Wangshu Inn, where I spent many days unconscious. I'd come to every once in a while and stare at the migrating birds outside the window. It was a solemn sight. I remember crying, but I'm not even sure I knew why. One day, I met a traveling merchant. Upon hearing of my illness, he sold me a bottle of soul-revitalizing tea pills. He told me that the pills were concocted using Adepti blood and could be used to alleviate my symptoms. Sure enough, I made a full recovery. My illness remained dormant for several decades after that.
Wait, but if your illness remained dormant for several decades, are you saying that what you're going through now is just a relapse of what happened all those years ago?
Possible.
And it was all thanks to the pills that you managed to keep the symptoms in check? Paimon's brain kinda hurts. Do you remember anything else?
I'm sorry, I don't. Oh, if only I wasn't so useless.
Hey, you're not useless. You've done so much for me.
Look at that
Watched me grow
sheen.
up, raised me. How could you say that about yourself?
Oh, fret not, dear child. Granny was just a bit frustrated. That's all.
The recovery of a person's memories is a gradual process.
We still have 2 places to
Finding
go.
pieces of one's past is always superior to not finding anything at all. Let us make haste to the next location.
Next location. Next location. Oh, why don't we go to the area north of Dwayun Karst next? There isn't really a landmark there, so where should we start? Oh, Paimon's got it. Let's check out the houses in the area first. After all, if she was there for any length of time, then she would have stayed somewhere, right? Oh, Paimon's really got her thinking cap on
Supposedly.
today. At this rate, we'll recover all of Granny Wendai's memories in no time.
Okay. So. Okay, I think we'll just fly over this way then. Or at least attempt. No?
Whoa, why are there so many treasure hoarders here? Guess it's time to round up some bad guys.
Okay. I was gonna avoid them, but.
Strike a pose! Emerge, right here. Is that all?
Smile!
The hunter becomes the hunter. Become.
Simple.
Do you remember anything about this place, Granny Wendai?
Even the
Let me think.
things
I
up here.
feel like I've been here before.
Okay.
I don't think I stayed here too long. I might have just rested here briefly
now Farina's
before
duration
continuing
expired.
on my way.
Got it. That's okay. There are still plenty of other places we can check.
Wait a second. If I remember correctly, I believe I brought... Ah, yes. I brought some sweet snacks with me. Go on, take some. You need to eat a lot if you want to grow big and strong.
Oh, thank you. Then Paimon will help herself.
The old classic. The grandma feeding others. What about here?
Paimon sees an abandoned house. Why don't we take a break over there?
This place... It's...
Did you remember something, Granny?
I remember. Xianyun. This is where your father was born.
Oh.
It was a moonless night. I had been injured, so your grandpa was supporting me. We fled together with some being in the fog behind us in hot pursuit. I had exhausted my strength when the labor pains came on, so we took refuge in this house. Your grandpa set up a barrier outside, but neither of us knew if it could hold the monsters back. I remember that night. I remember falling to my knees, reciting a prayer over and over. I alone am the source of this sin. Punish me as you wish for forsaking my oath, but spare my innocent child.
Sin? Oath?
Huh?
Did you do something
That
wrong?
was quite something.
I don't know. I don't remember. I only remember praying in the darkness with all my strength until the sun finally rose again and the fog cleared out. Eventually, the house was filled with the sound of my baby's first cries. That baby was your father. I remember I clutched him tight to my chest and wept tears of joy. It was the first time I'd ever felt such happiness in my life.
My dad?
He was my pride and joy, and so are you, Xianyun. You're so much like him, and I love you both so much. But you're always going to be different from me. Why? Just what did I do?
Well, we're slowly getting
I don't care
there.
what you might have done, Granny. You'll always be the person I love more than anything.
You're too sweet, Xianyun.
She
lucky
doesn't
to
care
have
about
you
her
with
past, just her
If not
present.
for you, I would not have had the courage to come here, to try to remember what I had forgotten. All right, let's not stand around any longer. There's one place left, yes? Let's go take a look.
If one recalls correctly, the next place should be Xianyun Peak. You and I, how fares your health?
I may be a bit slow, but I'll do my best to keep up. I'm sorry to keep everyone waiting.
Climb on, I shall carry you to the top. Oh, such lightness of weight.
All those who grow old grow frail in the end.
I'm just
do
not
they
teleporting because I'm
First,
hearing
you
their
lose
conversation.
Your memory, then your health. Eventually, you end up losing everything. My only wish is to depart this world with a lucid mind, to free myself of this torment and the burden it places upon others.
Fret not. You have my aid in this endeavor.
Okay. Like the conversation's over. I made a good track, you know? I was like halfway there. There we go.
We're finally here. Does this place feel familiar to you, Granny One Day?
Let me see. How strange. Have I lived here before?
Take your time, you know?
When we were at Wangshu Inn and the abandoned house earlier, though I couldn't remember everything, I still felt a sense of familiarity. I could easily picture myself in those places. But here, I don't have that feeling. Perhaps I did come here in the past, but it just didn't leave a strong impression on me.
But did the stories get it wrong then?
No, we can't expect them to get everything right, you know?
Yeah, that's true. But they're also the only thing we have to go off of. Paimon was hoping this place would jog Granny Yuendai's memory just like the others.
I'm sorry to disappoint you too.
It's alright. We're not going to give up yet. We'll figure something else out. Just you wait.
Thank you. If only I could remember. Huh? That way. What's that mountain?
Are you familiar with that mountain?
Oh, let Paimon look! Huh? Isn't that Mount Outsong? Looks like we've come full circle.
Right?
Mount Outsong. Mount Outsong.
Granny, are you okay?
What does that remind you of?
Don't push yourself, Granny. It's okay if you can't remember. You shouldn't do something that makes you sad.
Mount Outsong, what am I really?
Mount Outsong holds some familiarity to you?
It does, but I can't go back.
Are you feeling unwell?
My head, it feels all heavy and dizzy. What is wrong with me?
Cloud, Miss Xianyun, is there anything you can do?
Almost let us sleep, huh?
Let us go to Mount Outsong.
Okay.
Fret not, all will be well. You and I, you have already given more than enough to the pursuit of this endeavor. You may leave the rest to me. I've prepared something that can aid you in suppressing the fear in your heart and restoring your lost memories. It currently resides at Mount Outsong.
Wait, really? When did you do that?
I never leave anything to chance. All will reveal itself when we arrive.
Never underestimate her. Shortcut! Very fun shortcut. I don't think I'm making it. I don't think I'm making it. Oh, I barely did not make it.
Come on, just tell Paimon already! What's this thing you've prepared?
Here, this is it.
Huh? But isn't this the mechanism that you were tinkering with when we first got here? Oh, is it
It all comes back full circle.
Precisely. A recent one at that. I am most pleased with the result. I call it the Suspensus Somnium mechanism. It periodically releases a soft breeze, which when paired with a gentle adeptal tune, can help the listener subconsciously relax and even enter a semi-hypnotic state.
Ooh.
Soothing agitation and anxiety, relieving exhaustion and insomnia, its potential uses are numerous indeed. And of course, it can also aid in the recovery of lost memories.
Whoa, what a cool gadget!
Very strong.
If you had it all along, why did you keep it to yourself until just now? We could have come to Mount Outsong right off the bat and saved time on a lot of floating.
Paimon, you're always
How
floating.
preposterous. Had Yuendai not recalled much of her past through her own efforts, the device would have nothing to draw upon. We Adepti can only help those who first resolve to help themselves. Had she lacked such determination and strength of character, one would have little to offer in way of assistance.
Paimon thinks she gets it now. Hey, what's that other thing?
As previously mentioned, a gentle adeptal tune is required to take full advantage of the mechanism. One secured such a tune from Streetward Rambler. Only with her melodies can the mechanism reach its peak power.
Whoa, Paimon can feel what you mean. Paimon's body feels light as a feather. It's as if she's lying down on a warm patch of grass after a super satisfying meal.
Oh, Paimon has a bit of a poet in her.
And you, Yuendai, is the mechanism helping you to relax? It appears she has already succumbed to the depths of reverie. Come, join one on this side. We shall give her some time to herself.
Yeah.
The drought is over. But why do you look like you want to cry?
The potion. It's nearly run its course.
I've never regretted meeting you. Not even for a second.
Please. Please, no. Have you forgotten? This is the world you left behind.
Look at this.
One of gentle breeze and morning dew, perfectly straddled betwixt the realms of heaven and earth. This is your home. This is where you belong. You should have never left. The you of the past, the me from not that long ago. We should have never.
So that is the truth. No wonder this place is so familiar. Granny!
Granny, are you okay?
Cloud Retainer.
Your memories have returned?
Wait, did you just call her by her full name? Does that mean you already knew each other?
Yes. I now remember
Our memories
everything.
coming back, you know?
Everything.
Granny, please don't cry.
Aww, sure you.
I'm here.
Oh, don't worry, my dear child. Granny is fine. I'm so sorry, everyone. You've gone to so much trouble on my behalf. It's all come back to me now. The most important thing that I had forgotten was the truth of what I once was.
Forgot the truth
One
about
can
who you
sense the
were.
guilt that now plagues your conscience. Reclaiming a truth long buried is sure to come with a myriad of complex emotions.
Yeah.
Perhaps one should recount the story on your behalf while you compose yourself.
No, it's okay. Now that I've remembered, I must face my memories head on. Shuyu, everyone, I cannot thank you enough for all your help. I'm ready to tell you my story, if you're willing to listen.
Please, Granny, don't force yourself. What happened in the past doesn't matter.
Look how much
I love you more than anything.
is worried.
Nothing you say can change that.
I know, dear child. My feelings for you are exactly the same. It is for this reason that you deserve to know the truth. Some time ago, I made a terrible mistake. One for which
What a start.
I could never atone.
Is this the sin that you mentioned in Xianyun Karst? What happened?
I am, in truth, not a human being. My real form, one that I held for centuries, was that of a wild crane. I spent many, many years living on Mount Outsong, bathing in the soft breeze and drinking the sweet dew of the mountains. At some point, I somehow gained wisdom and sentience. The Lord of the Mountain, Cloud Retainer, became aware of my existence and began to share many stories with me. She even passed on the secret of cultivation to me. Though she never took me on as a formal disciple, I always saw her as my master.
I guess we met a third disciple,
to work on mechanisms or new inventions, I would also stand next to her and watch. I even contemplated completing my training and becoming an adeptus in my own right. I followed her teachings, and time gradually passed us by. Until that fateful day 50 years ago.
50 years ago?
No. During the drought?
That's right. Master regaled me with many stories of her past deeds. From them, I learned how she had saved people from a similar crisis in the past. She was the one I looked up to the most. More than anything, I dreamt of becoming an adeptus like her. I wanted to travel the land like she had, relieving suffering wherever I went. But I was still far from being a real adeptus. I possessed no ability to take on human form and fit in with the crowd. Once she learned of my desires, Master prepared a special dose of human mimicry potion for me. She warned me that the potion's effects would only last 10 years, and if I were to fail to return to my original form at the end of that time, I would forever forget my past as a crane and become something neither human,
Yet,
beast,
somehow she was
nor
able to remember now.
Oh no. So that was the source of your dementia all along.
But she never turned back into a crane.
Was it because of Grandpa?
Indeed. I fell in love. Though he was human, he had spent his entire life training on Mount Tianheng. When we met, it was not only my first foray into
Kind
the
of
world
reminds me
below,
of
but his
Gunny's
as well.
parents.
Although clumsy and impulsive as he was, you'd think he was the real strange bird among the two of us. But still, just like me, he cared deeply about the world and wanted, more than anything, to cleanse it of all pain and suffering. I could not help but fall for him. But my time continued to tick away. Those 10 years passed by in a flash. Yet I did not want to leave his side, so I...
Oh no. What happened next?
I committed an offense. I wanted to stay with him, even if it meant living a life full of pain and suffering.
Quite ironic,
even
huh?
if it meant that I would eventually turn into a monstrosity.
Look at that.
I knew I had betrayed Master's hopes, but I was too ashamed to face her. So I wrote her a long letter instead and asked someone
wrote a
to
letter.
leave it outside her abode. I was convinced that she would not support my decision, and I lacked the courage to speak to her face to face. In my shame, I fled and tried to hide from the world, such that no one would be able to find me again.
That's one.
But that was only the beginning of my troubles. I began to suffer from a strange illness. My memories
And
became
there's
hazy
the
and
illness.
confused, and I could no longer keep myself awake. I understood that my pain was caused by my refusal to return to the life I was fated to lead. Along with my memories as a crane, I soon forgot the true cause of my suffering as well. I knew only that I had committed a sin. All I could do was pray for forgiveness,
Oh, that's
even if I had long forgotten what needed
a
to be
hard
forgiven.
state to be in.
Looking back, I was beyond lucky to have come across that traveling merchant at Wangshu Inn. It was such a fortunate coincidence that we were there at the same time. If it weren't for those soul-revitalizing tea pills, I probably would have...
Granny, what's wrong?
Coincidence? Why did I ever think it was a coincidence? Tea pills concocted using the blood of an adeptus? No, it couldn't be. Master, don't tell me. Back then, that merchant was actually...
Human custom would dictate the conferral of gifts to be in order when one's progeny is wedded, would it not? Consider the pills a symbol of one's best wishes.
So when I tried to conceal my name and mistakes from the world and hide myself away in
You
perpetuity,
can't hide from Cloud
the only
Retainer.
person I managed to deceive was myself. You knew where I was all along.
Quite a big line,
One
huh?
still remembers when you were but a fledgling. You possessed a certain fondness for a particular game. You would hide yourself among a group of wild cranes and ask one to pick you out from among the flock. One found you with such ease every time. 'Tis a truth most evident. One always recognizes one's own, no matter what form they may take.
Wait! Paimon's confused!
What's there to be confused about, Paimon?
Cloud Retainer, you found Yuendai again? But how? When? And what happened after that?
Perhaps it is now time for one to recount the rest of the tale.
Let's see. Oh. That's what you mean. Okay.
One was furious upon receiving your
Whee!
letter. Seized with anger, one set out to bring you to your senses.
Oh, let's see. Okay. There's Wang Xun.
In truth, one had more than a few misgivings about your chosen partner. As an exorcist, his talent was lacking. One could hardly say his skill with sigils was any better. But soon, one came to appreciate the devotion he bestowed upon you during your illness. He never uttered a complaint and rarely left your side. Unwilling
everything's
to
about
begrudge
work.
someone of such character, one decided to overlook his aforementioned deficiencies, glaring though they may have been. Wishing to grant you a life without regrets, one gathered many divine ingredients and used one's own blood to create a form of medicine. Though imperfect, it managed to suppress the more
And
dire
that's why it
effects
took-
of your illness. As for how to deliver the medicine,
Yeah.
after much contemplation, one eventually decided to perform the deed oneself. One took great care to alter one's features and select the appropriate attire. Only after meticulous scrutiny did one finally set out for Wangshu Inn. As one expected, You were most ignorant of one's true identity. You showed not even the slightest inkling of recognition. One was quite torn. Should one have celebrated the success of one's disguise, or mourn the loss of your acquaintance?
Yeah! Skyward!
Okay, now we got a revive point. Oh. Am I supposed to make this jump?
Nevertheless, one would speak to you about.
I made the jump.
If
I guess
you are amenable,
I was
even
supposed.
considering your loss of memory. One
Hold
was
up.
simply flabbergasted that you could so easily forget the consequences of consuming medicine infused with adeptal blood. Its proclivity to attract monsters is hardly that complicated of a concept to remember. To think that you tried to travel while weak from
The barrier
sickness and
around
heavy
it.
with child. Had one not intervened to clear the fog, all of you would have been lost during the night.
Oh, it goes through them.
Scatter!
Make way for the Adeptus!
I am Xiao now. Look at me. I'm Xiao now.
Yeah! Skyward! Scatter!
Okay. That was interesting.
Those monsters would hardly have pursued you
Oh,
with such
it made
ferocity
cracks.
without sufficient incentive. They were likely incited by the presence of godly remains. Said godly remains, in turn, were likely
Yeah,
drawn to
anyone
the
could be
trace of
Xiao
one
with
scent
her on the
your
team.
body. One was, after all, an active
Oh.
participant in the
That
Archon War.
that looks nice.
Some of the gods were likely shattered by contraptions of one's very making. In the end, one was relieved to see you endure through the night. At the break of dawn, one heard an infant's cry pierce through the air, and one saw you carefully cradle the child to your chest. Although certain mortal matters remain foreign to me, one could not help but be moved by your joy.
Basically,
To see you happy,
your grandchild.
that was more than enough.
Yeah! Skyward!
Now you should have a complete understanding of the events.
Wait, but if that's true, then the crane who took care of me when I was sick must also be...
Ah, one had almost neglected to recount the absurdities of that tale.
The absurdities? Oh, look where we are. What? Okay, invisible wall.
Just as you and I troubled one with her antics, so did you give one many a headache. Upon finding you burning with fever, one made plans to bring you back to one's abode for treatment. However, upon seeing one's form, you began to cry, refusing to get on one's back. When one asked you why, apparently you believed that one could not possibly be a true Adeptus, because all illuminated cranes are
Wow.
white from tip to toe. One had no choice but to apply powder to one's body to conceal
Oh,
the
the
very
powder.
vivid nature of one's appearance. You became more than amenable enough when one stood before you devoid of any other coloring. It bears mentioning, however, that as a crane, Yuendai was nearly entirely pure white in color. Though you had never encountered her in that form, you still
Ironic, no?
recognized the essence of her being. Perhaps fate brought you two together in more ways than one. Now all has been revealed. One owes you an apology, Yuendai. One recognized you upon your very entrance into Wanmin restaurant. One has always viewed you as a disciple of equal standing with Ganyu and Shenhe. Indeed, one wished to bring your story to a satisfactory end with this visit to Liyue Harbor. Still, one could not reveal your identity right away. Had one simply informed you of all you had lost, all those cherished memories would merely have become the fictionalized account of another. Memories are most meaningful when recalled by those who lived through them. Would you
It's
not
a whole
agree?
different story if
Even
someone
if the
just told
process
you
was painful and
instead of you
arduous to
remembering yourself.
experience. Have you any further inquiries?
Master, I must ask. If you found me all those years ago, why did you leave me be, even though you knew about my mistake? Why did you not bring me back to Mount Outsong by force?
One has never regarded your action as a mistake. It was
Yeah.
a simple choice.
Was
Nothing
choice.
more. When it is time for one's progeny to leave the nest, it is the responsibility of an elder to let them fly free.
Just like she's
Yet,
letting
when your
Ganyu
wings
and
grow
Shenhe
weary,
back to the city,
the night
you know?
grows dark. Just know that you always have a place to which to return. 'Tis a refuge referred to by many a name in mortal writing. Home, nest, haven. Whatever its denomination may be, its essence remains quite unchanged. One speaks, of course, of a place not unlike one's own abode. One's disciples are free to come and go as they wish, yet the door remains forever open to those who wish to return. One rather hopes you count yourself among them.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You and I. One expects you too have sensed the rapid deterioration of your condition as of late. Have you not? 40 years ago, you chose a path without a future. Though one used one's own blood to provide you with a few decades of extra time.
Yeah, a
Nearly
delayed day
the
inevitable.
One may have extended the path, yet one was unable to alter its final destination. Even the power of an Adeptus has its limits. Had your condition continued to deteriorate, you would have forgotten your life as a human entirely. In the end, you would have turned into a creature lacking in the ability to even comprehend its own monstrousness. Fortunately, you were able to avoid that scenario by reclaiming your memories. Though one sped the process along by providing some guidance, the result is entirely a reflection of your own effort.
So, what's gonna happen to Granny?
One will help her reclaim her original form as a wild crane.
Oh.
If it be fated, she may recover her sentience one day.
It's possible she can
She's
return
gotta
to
go
being a
back to
crane?
being a regular crane, huh?
Is there no other way?
Master, you've already done more than enough for me.
Because Xianyun
I don't
gonna
know how
be
I could possibly repay your
missing out.
kindness. This is a better result than I could have ever hoped for. How much time do I have left?
Not long. The transformation is imminent.
Granny? Please don't leave, okay? You're all I have left. Please.
Don't be sad, dear child. Granny has led a wonderful life. My only regret is having to leave you behind.
Yeah, the small child by herself.
Don't forget to eat
Gonna
well,
be
okay?
tough for
A
her.
growing young lady like yourself needs lots of good food to grow big and strong. Promise Granny you'll take good care of yourself when I'm gone.
I promise, Granny. I'll do whatever you say.
Good girl. Good girl. Don't worry. It's not goodbye forever. Granny's gonna become the most formidable crane in all of Mount Outsung. Granny will train day and night. I won't stop until I can turn into a human without having to rely on anything but my own power. When that day comes, we'll be able to live together again. You and I. How's that sound?
Good.
Look at that.
That's a good girl.
Or
Even
still.
though we won't see each other for a little while, as long as we both work hard, we're sure to meet again someday.
Even the traveler eater is
I promise.
taking it
And I'll
all
wait
in.
for you, no matter how long it takes. I'll wait for you to come back.
That's a good girl. Then Granny really has no more regrets. I'm so sorry, Master. Thank you for everything.
Oh. And we're seeing it in action. Rain.
Xianyun.
Let her be. At her age, crying is a natural, if not fitting, response to such an event. Tears are a
Very
necessary
understandable.
part of maturation. Sometimes there is scarcely a better vehicle to wash away the toll of stress and misery. Now that the issue has been resolved, you should also take a moment to relax. Give yourself some time to rest. Take a nap if you must. One will wake you.
I
in due
will
time.
after the stream, don't worry. Hmm? That's adorable. Did that make... Yeah, I was about to say. That reminded him of family, right?
I always believed we would see each other
Oh,
again.
wow.
That our days of separation would finally
And
end.
that's where this comes from.
And all my troubles would be behind me.
Oh. Right?
If only things could stay this way forever.
Oh.
A nightmare? Curious. If you're relaxed, shouldn't your dreams be pleasant?
That's the thing.
It was a good dream. It's just
The
You
reality
ready
is.
to wake up?
But remember, this is Genshin. We can't have happiness. Yeah. Especially Liyue, you know?
Eloquent as one may be, words of comfort are not one's strong suit. You are doing all you can. One can see your strength of will, your fearlessness in the face of danger. And so, whatever your dream may be, one believes that you shall achieve it. Of course,
Well,
whenever the perils you face overwhelm
that's his
you,
goal.
or you become weary, one is always here for you.
Like a doting
After
mother.
all, as an elder, it is only right to look out for the young ones.
Meanwhile,
Grilled chicken drumsticks.
one is not like the other.
Oh, Paimon wasn't talking to you. Paimon had a dream about eating grilled chicken drumsticks, that's all.
Yeah.
Madam Adeptus?
Oh, Xianyun, you're awake. How do you feel?
I feel a little better. Thanks. I know I'll see Granny again someday, so I don't feel so sad anymore. Madam Adeptus, could I ask you something? Would you take me in as a disciple?
Oh, and have you reasons for this sudden interest?
I know Granny thought what she did back then was wrong. She felt really bad about it. But without that mistake, I would have never been born. Even though Granny lost her memories, she never forgot to show me how much she loved me. So, I thought maybe one day I could become a cool Adeptus like you and help a whole bunch of people.
Don't think that's how it works.
Upon some reflection, one supposes you are no mere mortal. The fact that Yuendai's blood flows through your veins is proof enough
I
of that.
guess?
If this is what you desire, one shall make it so.
Technically, she's like
Thank you so much, Madam
a
Adeptus.
quarter
I mean,
Adepti.
Master.
Xianyun, are you sure about this? Paimon's gonna let you in on a little secret. We've seen Cloud Retainer's 2 other disciples, and they pretty much eat nothing but bitter herbs like chin-chin and violet grass.
Not everything's about food, Paimon.
If you join them, you'll never enjoy One-Min Restaurant's delicious cooking ever again.
Oh my
Utterly
god.
Preposterous. One has never enforced such a rule. Every individual must find their own path to enlightenment. So long as one retains a pureness of spirit, one's dietary proclivities are quite irrelevant.
Well, you say that, but Paimon's not seeing any tasty treats up here now, is she?
Although Mount Outsong is rich in natural beauty, its location does preclude access to certain finer mortal comforts. That is precisely why one plans to relocate to Liyue Harbor. Shuyu shall have the honor of becoming one's first disciple in the human world.
That is very surprising and interesting. That why you took on this human form?
One has never concerned oneself with the location of one's residence. From the very beginning, one has sought only solace and peace. Yet in the end, all of one's disciples ended up in Liyue Harbor.
Yeah.
Ganyu, Shenhe, Yuendai, they all chose a life among the mortal world. One has reflected on this fact for many years now. One can only assume that it is due to some failing on one's part as an elder or master.
I wouldn't call it a failing.
Perhaps of recognizing what it was they truly wanted. One is most curious as to what aspect of Liyue Harbor could have enticed them to remain there. One could hardly offer an opinion on the matter, but perhaps some time in the harbor will prove instructive. Why are you all so silent?
Paimon is, just a bit shocked, that's all. So, does this mean we can grab a meal together in Liyue Harbor sometime?
One has precious little time to squander. However, if one finds oneself otherwise unoccupied, one would not be opposed to the idea.
Okay.
One will be assuming the identity of a human while residing in Liyue Harbor. You should take care to avoid disclosing one's true identity.
You're the one that called yourself out, you know?
Keep it a secret. So, when can we expect to start seeing you in the city?
Perhaps in 2 days' time. One has some matters to see to before one's departure. Preparation is the key to success, after all. One plans to put up various items from one's collection for sale. The earnings should provide for a comfortable living in Liyue Harbor.
That's how she's gonna make her
One has already
earnings.
picked out a handsome property near Chuhu Rock.
I was
It's no
curious
small
about that.
Purchase, but what is mortal life if not one expense after another?
She's already going for the extravagant, huh?
You've really thought of everything. Then how about we meet up in Liyue Harbor in 2 days?
A sensible plan. See you then. Oh, also, why don't you take this suspense somnium mechanism as a souvenir? Anytime you should feel ill at ease in the future, you may try quieting your mind and sitting in meditation as you listen to its melodies.
Hopefully this
It
2
might help you
days
find your
is the Lantern Festival, Lantern Rites, you know?
Hey, didn't we promise Shincho that we'd tell him what we found out?
Never mind.
Should we make a trip to the Feiyun Commerce Guild? It's totally up to you.
I guess we're still doing the quest. I thought we were gonna be done, but... Nope. There's still a little left. Now, how do I do this? Here we go. Okay. That's one. That was only half of the quest. Little did I know. Part 1 done. 3 more to go.
Your concerns are excessive and unfounded. This is but a simple collection of ordinary valuables. Such intense scrutiny is hardly necessary.
To be quite honest, your insistence on that fact is my primary cause for concern. In what way are any of these ordinary? Every single item here could be worth more than everything I own combined. I simply can't
Ordinary
risk
for
shelling out
her.
that kind of mora without proper scrutiny. If I'm wrong, I would never be able to earn it back, not even if I worked every single day for the rest of my life. I have to be careful. Yes, you can never be too careful.
We're here, Clow.
I'm on.
Xianyun, what are you guys arguing about?
Ah, perfect timing. This ignoramus is questioning the authenticity of my wares. I'll have you know, these items have remained untouched in my personal collection for several hundred years. To question their legitimacy is pure folly.
Xianyun?
Several
800 years?
Yeah.
Indeed.
See?
They're family heirlooms, you see.
For
Passed
someone
down
so
over many
smart,
generations,
she
as
lets us
families
slip
are wont to
so
do.
much.
Yep, they've definitely been around a while. We can vouch for her on that one.
Hear that? Had I not found myself in need of Mora, I would scarcely have had the heart to part with them. Indeed, you should consider it an honor to even have the opportunity to behold them with your own eyes. Doubt their authenticity any further, and I may just decide to take them to another buyer.
Whoa, please don't go! I apologize for any insult, miss. You see, I know full well that I lack the knowledge to judge these items. If you could wait but a moment, I've hired an expert to appraise them for me. He should be here shortly.
An expert, you say? Very well. I will wait for a little while longer then. Traveler, Paimon, this is my new residence. If you have cause to seek my company in the future, this is where you can find me.
Master! Oh.
Aw,
it's
Xianyun.
you two again. Hello.
Xianyun! You got a new outfit! It looks
Right?
great on you.
Mm-hmm. Master made it for me. I like it too.
Oh, she actually know how to make outfits and not skin-tight suits?
Do I know how to make clothes? With the support of the proper mechanism, sewing is hardly a challenge.
Master, I brought in most of my stuff. There's a few boxes left, but they're kind of heavy, so I just left them outside.
Fret not. I shall help you move them into your room.
Actually, I should probably sort through my stuff a bit first. Everything's kind of messy right now, so maybe you could, not look yet, Master? Yeah, that'd be great.
It appears my young apprentice has her own fair share of secrets. No matter. Do what you must, child. Now, this expert you mentioned. When can we expect their arrival?
Soon. Ah, there he is! Here, allow me to make some introductions.
Oh.
This is Mr.
Zhang
Zhang
Li.
Li, a well-respected consultant at Wangshang Funeral.
I don't know
Parlor
why
and
I did not
expert in
think
all
that
manner of
he
valuables
was
and
gonna be the
antiques.
one.
Mr. Zhang Li, this
He
is
makes
Miss
perfect
Xianyun.
sense.
She's the one who's looking to sell the collection of valuables I mentioned earlier.
Oh, this is awkward.
If it isn't Miss Xianyun. It has been quite some time since our last meeting. What a serendipitous reunion.
Indeed, most serendipitous.
Oh, awkward.
Have you been faring well as of late, Mr. Zhang Li?
Quite well, thank you. I was fortunate enough over the past few days to enjoy both a stroll in the mountains and a fresh brew of tea from the most recent harvest. The experiences left me with such insight and peace.
Huh. So you two are already
Oh,
acquainted?
for many decades,
Indeed.
centuries even.
How fortunate we are that fate has brought us together again. If you are otherwise unaware, allow me to inform you that Miss Xianyun is a well-regarded collector and appraiser. She is well-versed in all fields, and oft-celebrated for her impeccable taste. You stand to gain much from this opportunity.
You are too kind, Mr. Zhang Li. True collectors pride themselves on their wealth of knowledge and eye for detail. I can say without a doubt that you are foremost in that regard.
Why, you flatter me, Miss
Paimon and
Xianyun.
Traveler just looking at
It would
each
seem
other
that
there.
You are as self-effacing as ever.
Not at all, Mr. Zhang Li. Not at all.
While I am loath to butt into this conversation,
Yeah,
I
he's
must
noticing
ask,
he's being
you
left
two
out
already
here.
Knew each other, and you seem to have quite a cordial relationship. Can I be certain that you're not working together to swindle me? I mean, you never know.
I mean, even if they were,
Preposterous accusation.
like,
The heavens themselves
they
would
wouldn't
collapse before we would conspire
confess
to
they
do
were
such a thing.
doing it, you know?
Miss Xianyun speaks the truth. Contracts are built on honesty and trust. If that proves to be beyond your capabilities in this instance, this transaction may be taken elsewhere.
Say no more. Let us depart.
They're so in sync.
What fool would still harbor doubts after Mr. Zhongli himself has vouched for the goods? Miss Xianyun, wait!
Calm down, Paimon.
I deeply apologize for doubting you. So, Mr. Zhongli, could you please give me a final verdict on the value of these items?
There is no cause for concern. They are indeed rare and precious valuables. Take this mechanism, for instance. Though one may not immediately perceive its purpose, its structure and appearance are exquisite enough to merit it a place in any fine home. The same can be said for this one here. Few could hope to possess an item that so perfectly blends mechanical wonder with geometric grace. I am sure you have heard from your travels that the study of mechanisms is among the most wondrous arts in this world. With that in mind, I earnestly recommend procuring every last item in this collection.
All right. Since I hired you as my consultant, Mr. Zhongli, I shall, of course, trust your good opinion. Then, in that case, Miss Xianyun, I'll take the lot. However, since the final sum is quite large, how about we start with an initial deposit through the Northland Bank?
The Northland Bank? Huh. Oh, you refer to the fiduciary house.
The fiduciary
very
house.
Well.
I fear people only use the term bank nowadays. In
You
that
know,
case, I'll be off for now.
been a couple
I'll return
centuries.
to collect the goods once you've received the funds.
Zhongli!
My friends, have you been doing well?
We've been great.
I really love his voice
I
still.
didn't know you were such a busy consultant.
My days have been quite pleasant as well. I had been quietly enjoying a cup of tea when Mr. Xiaozu requested my services. As for you, Miss Xianyun, I presume you must be looking to settle in the city?
I must say, the name Xianyun sounds exceedingly strange coming from you. Perhaps you could dispense of that particular epithet in further conversation.
Whatever for. Am I not addressing you as a friend should?
Well, that is
What?
true, but...
What do you expect him to call you? Cloud Retainer?
Alas, refer to me however you will. After all, a name exists such that others may address you with it. One is hardly ignorant of that fact.
It would seem that you have gained many valuable insights over the years, Cloud Retainer.
One has indeed. One's previous days were all brief. Now that one has made up one's mind to move and settle, one has gained a much better appreciation of the hubbub and commotion of the city, as well as the people's hard work and ardor. This city is much changed from how it was more than 1,000 years ago.
Not unlike the ocean tides, so too shall the movement of people ebb and flow. From turmoil to peace, enlightenment to aspiration. Human society possesses limitless potential. In another 1,000 years, the scene we witness here may change in ways that are impossible for either of us to imagine.
Alright, that's enough reflection for one day. No need to get all sentimental.
Okay, that's enough.
You make a valid point, Paimon. Now that the sale has concluded, what say one plays the host as we try some specialty dishes together?
Now you're speaking
One must
Paimon's
profess
language.
Great interest in trying bamboo shoot soup.
Hmm? Perhaps you have forgotten, Cloud Retainer, but I once tried my hand at that dish. You were at the table on that occasion, so logic dictates that you should have already tried it.
Oh? What occasion was this?
It was a reunion between friends several centuries ago. Alas, you must have been too preoccupied to secure yourself a portion. Or perhaps our other companions simply availed themselves of faster reflexes on that occasion.
Huh, hardly. 'Twas most certainly out of consideration for the others in attendance. In but a moment, one will show you what it means to have a true deftness of hand. It is settled then. Bamboo shoot soup, mora meat, crab roe tofu, triple
Okay.
layered consommé. We shall enjoy the lot. One has already passed word to Shenhe and Ganyu to make a reservation.
Aw.
It is prime time for them to meet one's newest disciple. Is that agreeable to everyone?
Look at that.
It should be a most splendid occasion.
Thank you so much, Cloud Retainer.
Xianyun, come now, it is time to dine. Ah, this gentleman over here is Mr. Zhongli. He is,
Your god.
A humble employee of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Nice to meet you too, Mr. Zhongli.
That should be everyone, right? Let's go!
I'm just excited to go eat,
Actually,
you know?
Master, have you ever tried Adeptus' temptation? I heard it's impossible to stop eating after even just one bite. You know, 'cause it's super tempting and stuff. Is that true?
That sounds rather implausible. Although with the right preparation, certain dishes can be too delicious to resist.
Huh? Why are you all walking so fast? Hey, wait for Paimon! Hey, wait up!
That was nice. Very sweet story. But yeah, this is where we're gonna be stopping for today. So hopefully I'll get to stream more this year, but we'll see how it goes. And with that, have a good night. Bye.
Tea party